Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Challenger 2023 Spring. I'm Atlas, joined by Chronicler here as we bring you our second series of the evening. Life Esports taking on Nongshim Red Force. And if you've perused the standings of the actual LCK, then you'll notice that, you know, things looking not so good for Nongshim over there. However, here in Challenger, Nongshim are a contender. Whether they'll be a contender against third place Hanwha Life is the big question.
Atlas, we need to address the elephant in the room. I don't know where you're going.
I'm looking for the elephant.
No, it's right behind us. You, when we left, said we were gonna have lunch.
Yeah.
We're not having lunch, Atlas.
My arm is actually
Atlas,
three times longer than
Atlas,
you guys think.
we are. It actually comes out over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, no, sorry.
That's not long enough.
Doesn't actually work out that way.
No,
Hello,
I mean,
Valdez.
Go around.
How are you?
It'd be cool. We ate dinner. It was delicious. It was really nice.
Well, I had my first meal when I arrived, and my second meal
make it lunch.
just then.
It's,
and I'm going to eat again when I get home. That'll
lunch
be dinner.
is a time period, not not which number of the dish it is.
I think lunch is up to whoever's eating it. And you
It's
might have been
not
eating dinner,
lunch.
but I was eating lunch.
It's not lunch when it's... Okay, back me up here, chat. Type 1 if you think that lunch is eaten at lunchtime, and that if you have a third meal in a day, even if it's late, you know, it's just another meal.
Yeah, that's a lot of tours in chat. Let's just look. I think that freedom is important, especially around meal times.
Don't give me the freedom speech.
You're
not American.
If you want to eat lunch, feel free to eat lunch whenever you want to. And so I ate lunch, and I'm free to eat lunch. I don't think that you should be trying to squash my dreams of lunch consumption. Otherwise, I miss out on lunch altogether. What does my life then become?
I'm so mad at you already, Atlas. I can't believe you would do this to me.
Well,
I can't believe chat's siding with you.
I didn't do it at all. Exactly, Cosmic Panda. You can eat lunch right now. Atlas, how many videos did you get after the Twitch chat casts a team fight last week? I didn't get any. I was actually pretty sad. I was hoping that someone would actually record their team fights, but 5 a.m. time for lunch. Exactly, the Kips. You've nailed it. You eat breakfast when you wake up, regardless of where my life schedule has me. Exactly, okay. Ostrichman. That's my point as well.
Then explain brunch.
Brunch is just a food type that is in between lunch food and breakfast food.
No, brunch food is breakfast food eaten at a time in between the two. That's where brunch comes from.
Right. So if you have a meal fairly quickly after you have breakfast, you can call it brunch. If you plan on also having a meal called lunch that day.
No, you can eat brunch without eating lunch. You don't need to eat lunch to eat brunch, Atlas says.
You can't control.
I don't know if
what I do for my meals.
I knew we were going to be fine throughout the Jin debacle, the Jin karma problem, but this stumps me.
You are drawing the line in a weird spot.
Yeah, this shouldn't surprise you. This is food related, okay? I'm willing to let you have your own opinions towards League of Legends because we're all entitled to our own opinions. But when it comes to food, there should be order. There should be light in the darkness.
That's what I'm arguing for. It's the order of the meals that matters.
It's not the order.
So actually, I am on your side even more than you are.
No, you know that's not the order I'm talking about, Atlas says. I can't even talk to you right now, so I'm going to talk about the game. We have Hanwha Life versus Nongshim. Their match scores are actually surprisingly similar.
Yeah.
Only 2 games apart from one another at the moment.
Yeah, these two squads are actually relatively evenly lined up. And we'll have to see whether good old Hanwha Life can continue the uptick or whether Nongshim Red Force are going to bring them down to their level. We'll just have to see. As, yes, dads are indeed arguing. Well, I think it's mainly Chronicler arguing with himself, because I already know how I feel. And I don't mind how he feels. So.
Oh, not the eggs. This was one of the worst fights the very friendly Discord has ever had. Was like 4-hour conversation about eggs and whether or not they belong in the fridge. So I don't do that to yourself. So I don't fridge my eggs.
I don't think you have to if you've got very fresh eggs and you plan to eat them quite soon.
Yeah, well, even if you don't, like I've had one rotten egg in my, one egg go rotten in my entire life. And my eggs have been out for a very long time.
Well,
But yeah, apparently the Americans in my Discord server were appalled and shocked. That apparently is not something that everyone does. As Humble Life versus Nongshim Red Force. Nongshim Red Force, being a pretty decent team, is one of the most shocking turns of this Challenger season for me. Their entire team got called up and, as expected, is struggling in the LCK because they're a Challenger team in the LCK. And they weren't even... They won, but they were not the best Challenger team, right? It was a situation where it was a magic run, not unlike DRX. And even if the DRX roster would have been together right now, do we really think they would have been as good as at Worlds? Probably not.
No.
We can't know, and that's the same issue that Nongshim has found themselves in, and they're playing in a different league. But this roster actually doing great, and it's not just Jiwoo. It's the whole team.
Yeah, everyone actually having a really good game. A lot of people very confused about eggs in the fridge or not in the fridge. I personally think that freshly hatched eggs, oh sorry, not hatched, because that would make that would be a chick. Like eggs that you get from your chickens in the backyard, you bring them in, you don't put them in the fridge, I don't think.
You can just supermarket eggs, you also don't need to put in the fridge.
Except the majority of supermarket eggs are already refrigerated.
Not in the Netherlands.
Ah, so not in the Netherlands.
Not in Korea either, no?
No, in Korea, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Never noticed. I always get them at the market where they're definitely not refrigerated.
How can chickens be real if my eyes aren't
Very
real?
good question from
What
Brendan
happened
Feldas.
to Jaden, man? Where is he? I haven't been keeping up. Wow. Anyway, this is Nongshim Red Force. Mihail is a Cassante one-trick. We'll see how he's going to go today. Sounder also has been performing relatively well. Call Me has one of the best names here in the LCK Challenger.
Maybe.
Jiwoo and Double H there towards the bottom side of the map. It's difficult to know whether to say HH or Double H. And if you're some Australians, saying H or not is also a difficulty. An argument that I thankfully don't need to have as often now that I'm in Korea.
No.
Have you ever met a H'er?
Never in my entire life. And that's just ha.
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 The fan signs are actually correct. Like, look at this drawing. Looks so sick.
It's actually pretty
It's
dope.
an amazing Call Me drawing.
I maybe would call him if he looked like that.
Right?
Just maybe.
Look how... Man, Syndra's such a cool champion. That, like, I've never seen a Syndra drawing look bad. As both these laners, Love Cassante, has been nerfed pretty substantially. Will they care? I think not.
Rooster has amazing hair.
He really does. Yeah, no, it's very majestic. The funniest part to me about Rooster is that
How does Mihail take 900 damage per minute?
I don't know. I mean, he's a ton of Cassante in Jack's games, but it's actually wild, right?
How does he take that much damage?
Yeah.
That is actually
KDA
just
isn't even that bad.
ridiculous.
So, Rooster literally came in as Lookalux got benched off of a very poorly performing Humble Life last split. And he was just like, all of a sudden, I think it was like midway through summer, he just showed up with his majestic hair. And he was just really good. Yeah. And he never went away.
He's doing really well. Z or Z, I'm a Zedder because, of course, I am from Australia, where we learn the Queen's English.
Yeah, UK is Z as well.
Yes. Well, anywhere
Obviously.
that uses English, it's Z, because Z
Let's
is
start
the
that
real
discussion.
word, the real name of the letter. Anyway, the Varus and the Annie going to be banned away first here by Humble Life Esports. Nongshim going to take away the two junglers that often get banned. And will we see a Caitlyn ban, an Annie ban?
DRX won. And Caitlyn should be either picked up first here as
the
Jiwoo.
What?
No, I love it. The Jiwoo respect ban. Jiwoo actually is a great Neela.
Yeah.
And Nongshim love this engage support bot lane because that's what they used to play. Does Lure play Caitlyn? We now have our answer. It's no. No, he doesn't, because otherwise that's what you get.
Yeah, so the Sejuani going to be locked in. A little bit of a shame that they don't
Might
go
not have a
for
Caitlyn
it.
player in this one.
We may not.
Maybe freed from that particular lane.
Are we freed to the point where we can now pick Lucian and Nami
No,
together?
we pick Saya because she's fun, or Kaisa, or not
Wukong?
not Lucian Nami, Zeri Lulu.
It's probably Wukong Zeri. Teams really do enjoy a bit of the Wukong Zeri.
Well, Wukong Lulu is good as well, so it makes sense. Lock it in, Nongshim.
Actually, they should lock the Lulu instead.
Yeah, lock Lulu. Yeah, you can go Sivir as well. It's fine. Do it.
I think then if you...
Jiwo also plays a mean Sivir.
Yeah. If you run into a stray, like Kate Lux on the next round, then maybe you just... Oh my... I knew it. I knew it.
My God.
He is just straight up a one-trick. He's already played 12 games of the champion. As Helmer like, well, we can Zeri Lulu. And now, Nongshim can't pick Lucian.
No.
It's just impossible.
Yeah.
So at least we get a different bottom lane. That is the most perplexing.
It's Nongshim though. Okay, so I generally don't trust teams, but like Nongshim and Challengers, they got their own thing going on. So I'm willing to see where this goes.
Well, it's going to Rise.
I don't think it's good. Let me be very upfront about this, but let's see. So they banned Samira and Nami here?
I mean, I think you just ban the Lucian.
Really? Lucian over the Nami?
Yeah, because then, you know, there might be some like Sona Lucian shenanigans, so you just ban the Lucian and you ban whatever you don't want to go into that Jiwoo might be good at, like,
sure,
I don't know, a Draven or something like that.
Sure.
And then you're
you have to ban
good
Samira.
to go. Do you have to?
Into Nongshim? I'd say so, yeah.
Okay.
They might not, but then I'm pretty sure it's going to be Samira Nautilus.
Does sound kind of fun.
No, it's Nongshim, so I'm ready for that. I hope that they don't take the path of least resistance. That'd be nice. Okay, Xayah Ben, very good. That's a strong champion.
That's actually a good champion. I like that.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got a
Xayah
shorter
Lucian
range AD carry. Xayah Lucian
and then
seems good.
We R4 Nautilus here, and then we R5 Samira.
Wait, maybe they just leave Lucian up because Zeri Lulu wins the matchup.
Also a possibility. We'll see. I do think picking or leaving up a Lucian Nami is scarier into Rise specifically because Rise contests Prio so well.
Yeah.
You can impact sides, which with Lucian Nami always fills me with a sense of dread. What will it be? What are we looking at? Also,
Cinnamon asks, how is Nongshim killing Sejuani? Oftentimes, Sejuani's just run headlong into your team, so it doesn't really matter. They just die.
Oh, I love that Railband. That's a good one. That's a great one.
That's a cute one. Does make the Samira more difficult to pick. However, the classic Amumu still exists. Wow. Well,
what?
Because, like, I guess maybe Jiwoo's just like, well, I'll just Caitlyn you. This is really funny because oftentimes, guys, the reason why we weren't saying, like, obviously Caitlyn's going to be picked is that teams just decide they don't want to play Caitlyn. Nongshim hasn't been a Caitlyn team necessarily. Let me have a look. There have been no games played of Caitlyn so far by Jiwoo here in LCK Challengers.
Yeah, Caitlyn Lux really is a very specific lane, and I think it's, in my opinion, the strongest bot lane that we have in the game. If it is played, is
the classic.
Homer, do it.
So
played, it's so good.
This has been picked into Rise so many times. Do you know how many times it's won?
Never.
It's won like once, maybe. Akshan, upside down boy.
Do it.
All right, we can bring some Persia this game.
Aatrox.
I mean, I feel like Aatrox would do just fine in Xante.
Not Aatrox. No, Aatrox is not in a good... He's not in a good... That's fine. It's boring, but... No, Aatrox is in a really bad spot ever since the Eclipse nerfs.
Yeah, the Eclipse nerfs.
He's not happy.
Not good. I'd prefer a Lux. But I guess Karma's probably fine.
Yeah, into the Zeri specifically, Zeri actually has a considerable amount of shove, as does Lulu, so I don't mind the Karma as much. I also think that getting consistent one-taps on Zeri can be quite hard with the amount of ability that she has available. Yep. So I don't mind the Karma. I personally like Lux more because I think that the amount of mistakes in Challenger games are going to lead itself a lot more to playing with a Lux, because then any mistake they make, they die. With Karma, not so much.
Yep. And now we've got the classic Sejuani problem where it's only Mega Na that you can actually, you know, abuse Permafrost with, which is a little bit sad, but it's fine. I think that Humble Life Esports have a cool composition. I think tunneling into the Cassiopeia mid it's a tough one because you have to also be a really good Cassiopeia player. So we'll see how that's going to go. Nongshim, on the other hand, like if this Caitlyn Karma lane works as it's supposed to,
I made the mistake of looking at YouTube chat. That's a rookie mistake that I will not be making again. And yeah, the Caitlyn is a very execution-based pick. They do have a draft that can utilize it well. Rise in particular. But how well is Calmy going to do into Roamer here? Or rather, how good is Roamer going to do? Because if he's a good Cassio, then this matchup is horribly one-sided.
Do you think Cassiopeia keeps her eggs in the fridge?
She is a snake lady.
Yeah.
No, because that kills live eggs. And I assume Cassiopeia wants to not kill her future kids.
Oh, not her eggs.
Or the eggs that she eats.
Snakes can eat eggs too.
Okay, well then, if they're for consumption, I don't think she does. No. I don't even know if there are fridges in Runeterra.
I'm sure they've made them.
Maybe some Hextech shenanigans?
Yeah. Piltover's got some fridges, I'm sure. I don't know whether she'd hang out in Piltover, but she might go there.
You need to stop bringing this. You don't know what you're toying with, Atlas. Like I cannot overstate.
Runeterra has an entire region that's just a fridge.
How dark that was. Okay.
Well, let's hop into the rift and rock out a little, shall we? Pause. All right, a pause, perfectly timed, so that we can talk about why it was that was.
Yeah, okay. So
it's not dark.
So the very friendly.
I'm
Discord,
talking about a breakfast.
Yes, cheeky. The very friendly Discord is a very friendly place where generally discussion is happy and good-natured, and everyone tries to get along well. But for some reason, this random, very mild topic really
gets people going.
It was like a 4-hour discussion.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was like 4 hours, and it just kept going in circles. It was wild. Does Piltover have Shin Ramyun? Yeah, sure.
You can get Shin Ramyun like
everywhere.
At the base of a mountain in the middle of rural Australia. I'm pretty sure you can also get it in Runeterra.
Makes sense. Which League of Legends character would be the owner of a supermarket chain?
Ooh. An interesting question.
Renata, probably?
Gragas.
No, Gragas has a brew. Is obviously he has beer. Like
no, but the beer shop, the beer company like got so big that he decided to sell everything.
Maybe Gragas to me. Oh, so there's Corporate Mundo, but he's more of a Wall Street type of guy. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he feels like a lawyer. I don't think he's like he's moved up. Ooh, Pantheon and Leona could work together.
Like that.
You know?
Yeah, they could have a chain of bakeries.
They could.
Make some croissants and some other delicious food. Some baguettes.
For some reason, I feel like Corky would be the manager of a supermarket.
Corky could be a regional manager in a supermarket. Yes.
You know? Ooh, Chef Morgana. She has cookies, though. She's more of a baker as well.
Morgana also, to me, is like a bit too preoccupied with good and evil to run a business.
She does like her cookies, though.
Yeah, but that's more of a hobby, you know, to wind down after...
She's been running that cookies business for, what, 9 years?
Yeah, but it's more so to wind down after talking to her sister about justice.
Ah, yeah. Do they just debate justice every day, though?
Her and Kiel, as far as I'm aware, yeah, they just fight.
It must have been a long 9 years.
Yeah. Well,
Corky would be the delivery company. True! Oh, no. Now we have no one being the CEO of our
I wouldn't say...
thingy.
I don't even know if it's a sound issue, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll be back soon. I don't even know if Corky be the manager, like the owner, the CEO. I feel like he would be like a regional manager.
Yeah.
So maybe Garen? Garen could be a CEO. You know, he got the he went to like the good university, and then he got the job kind of handed to him because his daddy's rich.
No. He went to the army straight out of college, straight out of high school, dude. 100%.
Then who? LeBlanc?
No. She's too witchy. Just don't. I feel like LeBlanc's talents would lead her down a different path than CEO of a supermarket.
Yeah, she's too exotic. She's too crazy.
This is difficult.
Very
Tarek.
hard. No, Tarek runs a flower shop, obviously.
There are flowers that you can sell.
No, he runs a flower and jewelry shop.
Yeah, that's actually true.
In the south.
He would definitely be a jewelry shop. Dang it.
Oh, toughy.
That was an outrageous thing to suggest.
Yeah.
I was grasping at straws.
It's
not Yorick.
Oh, Lux laughs like my old store manager. I could see that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
Bit of a Lux vibe. I'm into
Zoe,
that.
no, Zoe's too crazy. Zoe is a
Aniva?
Like 500 Anivia?
No, I'm pretty sure Anivia is
No,
just going to
she's a
start us
bird.
on. She just refrigerates her eggs. That's what she does.
She actually does. 'Cause she's a cryo phoenix. Good point.
Yeah, there we go. Does Gangplank own a fruit stand? 100% he does.
Yeah, of course.
Got to make sure that he avoids scurvy.
Got to make sure that everyone eats their citrus.
The only thing Tarek runs is Into the Tower in my Iron games. I like that
what
one a
else do
lot.
we got?
We've got a Nongshim sound issue, by the way. I'm sure you guys have
already
read that.
mentioned that.
I only just read it on the screen.
You didn't listen to me?
No,
You
I think
never listen to me?
No, I think I missed that one. I was busy reading.
Yeah. Everyone, maybe we'll drop in some C4. You know, we'll talk to chat, talk about the community, have some fun.
Yeah.
Because right now,
And we might actually be home in time for breakfast,
oh no,
according to your rules. Right?
don't do that. You don't know what you're toying with, Atlas.
You're never living this one down. And every time that we're going
It's
to
like-
a break and we're
it's
going to
like
eat,
so-
I'm going to just name a different random meal that I'm planning on eating.
But it's not like you can eat breakfast foods for dinner. I get that, but like you can't eat at 8 and say it's not dinner.
Wait, how is Sona a receptionist? Can't she not talk?
She can't talk.
So that doesn't make
Doesn't
for a
work,
very
no.
good receptionist, I don't think.
No.
Doesn't seem very good.
Miles revealed his weakness. Atlas knows that's why we're good friends.
Yeah.
Atlas knows my weaknesses. They're very apparent. They're not very well hidden.
Yeah, I prey on them. Relatively
That's just how it goes.
Man, I still can't
We
figure out
need to figure
the
out
CEO
the
of this.
CEO. I think Garen actually works very well.
No, but he's doing his first tour, you know? Like, I don't know. It just seems too much of like an army boy.
Mordekaiser.
Oh, you know what?
He's like he doesn't pay his employees at all. He's
I mean,
like shareholders
working
above
in there
all.
kind of sounds like the Death Realm. Oh, Swain. Swain's a good one. Oh,
This is sexism. No, like
Well,
Renata, for example, is clearly a woman of industry, right? But she wouldn't run a supermarket chain. She's way too badass for that.
yeah,
she'd
it
do
feels like it has
something-
to be something a little bit.
Yeah,
more,
she'd do something crazy.
a little bit more underground.
She,
I would reckon.
it'd be like finance, but she would also be funding some illegal business on the side.
Yeah. Jace from Arcane? Question mark? Yeah. Ooh.
Jace
could also run.
No, Jace
the-
more of a Wall Street kind of, or a lawyer.
But he's an inventor.
He's a bit too suave.
He's
an inventor. Yeah, that's true, actually.
he has a little bit of added lore.
God, Jace would be a Silicon Valley guy. He would be running a tech startup.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
I mean,
he would
he
be
is.
running a. Well, he is. Yeah, but he would be. Oh,
Him and Victor.
oh, yeah. And then actually, like in the Social Network, they would break apart.
Yeah.
The Social Network is actually about Jason Victor from Arcane.
The Social Network was actually a spin-off movie from
from
Riot's
popular hit
Cinematical
series.
Universe.
From popular hit series
Cinematical?
Arcane.
Cinematical is not a word.
Yeah.
Victor was the inventor. Jace is actually just marketing. Yeah, that's probably true too. Man.
These sound issues are not getting.
Yeah, people can't hear very good at all
No.
right now.
Chad, how is everyone doing
Yeah.
at this wonderful night? We and now Dutch. Are we talking Dutch? I don't know why.
No.
Vagar
100%
for
Viga?
supermarket owner.
I think I'm there with you. I think I'm actually into it. I'm into the Viga supermarket owner guy.
I like that.
Because he's got the big boss.
He does have big boss Vigar. Very true.
And he needs to like be hanging out with Blitzcrank as well, and like Blitzcrank like gets all the boxes in order and stuff like that. He's like he's the muscle. Does a lot of the grunt work.
That's be Tom Kench. No, Tom Kench clearly owns a what is it called? Hovercraft rental business in Florida.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why Tom Kench would do anything else with his life.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And Corporate Mundo is
And he hunts
definitely-
gators on the side.
Corporate Mundo is dealing with way too much paperwork to be.
Well,
working for a
Corporate Mundo
supermarket.
is also definitely committing some serious fraud because.
And he also deals in a lot of TPS reports, if I remember correctly. So basically,
True.
Corporate Mundo is just the main character of Office Space in Runeterra. That's how that one goes.
Hey!
Let's begin the game, shall we?
No, they're just Do you guys like the Nar sounds? Is he singing? Is he saying bagel? No.
No.
There, maybe.
Bagel, bagel?
Bagel, bagel.
So maybe Na was running the prehistoric supermarket the whole time and we never knew.
Bagels, bagels. Not donuts. Very different things. Important for any of our viewers out there. We know they're different.
Except
even though some
that
of our
they're the
players might
same.
not.
Hey, look, if you need it to represent something when you're doing a celebration after a win, I think it's okay as long as it somewhat
but it's so
represents
easy to
the
get
thing.
donuts in Korea as well. Like, getting a bagel is actually harder. That's what confused me.
Well, I mean, it depends what position you're in. Like, maybe there's a bagel shop outside Lahenz's house, you know?
Well,
Maybe
I
for
guess
him specifically, it's very easy.
there's like 3 donut shops, like a minute away from Lowell Park. As call me having a bad time.
Yeah, Roma is actually doing the things that you're supposed to be doing here in this lane. Looking forward to seeing what boots Roma's going to buy.
Why would you?
Anyone?
Why would you? We have 3 more games to get through, Atlas. Come on, man. Don't do this to me. Lahens ate a bagel, but it was meant to be a donut because it was for the donut churros when he beat his old team.
Yeah.
But it was a bagel with cheese.
Casio boots soon, definitely.
Caster
Gotcha.
dads ask us how we're doing, but we never ask caster dads how they're doing. No, that's the nature of our relationship.
Yeah,
That's
because
just how
we
it
care
works.
about you. As this should be a dead Cassiopeia, and it is. Sounded going to pick up that kill very comfortably.
And this is the downside of Cassio. She doesn't have escapes.
It's like she struggles for movement speed and still hasn't bought boots, man. It's a real struggle. I need to stop just in case people actually
People will
think
think
I'm being
they're serious. Well,
Yeah.
or worse, they will realize what is happening and not know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she will be able to move faster as the game goes on. It's just going to take some time.
She will. I smell a Dutch accent. Very accurate, my friend. It is indeed a Dutch accent. Good catch.
Quite a good catch.
Well, that,
I wasn't doing an accent. I was just accidentally saying it weird. Okay.
I don't believe you.
I was. I have a real problem with
No,
accents. If
you
someone's
do,
doing an accent, I automatically
kind of get
just
weird.
accidentally do it.
Accidentally.
Accidentally. Exactly. Exactly. That was Russian. Exactly. But my name's spelled with a U, so joke's on us both, is it not? Kizo actually had the joke at the same
man has
time.
to fire back. Atlas leaving no one behind. Everyone gets a burn.
It's about that. But also, you know, we need to promote the spelling of my name.
And we need to make sure that people are all friendly. So you can also try to do it in a more positive way, maybe.
No, I was positive that he was wrong.
Atlas, in school, were you the kid that, like, whenever a teacher asked you to not do something, you would be, like, arguing with them to try and find a way around it?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's called a smartass in
Yeah.
most places. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, it might shock you, but not me. I was a bit of a teacher's pet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know, shocking turn of events.
Whoa, I really thought you would have been the bad boy.
Yeah.
Oh, not sitting up the back of class, like drawing on things.
I was drawing a lot of things, but I still, yeah. No, I was in the high school debate team, and I did the school musical, and I was not a very, I was not a rebel. One time I got kicked out of class, and I just left because I was like, well, if I'm getting kicked out of class, my teacher was like, you know what you did, and I'm like, okay, and I was like halfway down the hall, and then she was like, no, come back, it was a joke, you did nothing wrong, why are you leaving?
That is
like,
such a mouth thing to do.
What are you doing? I was like, I don't know, I just assumed I'd done something wrong. Like, how am I supposed to know? You told me I had to leave.
Mihail might just die here. Couple more autos would have done it, but you can see Rooster not wanting to overstep his bounds. He knows that Cassante is barely a champion these days, so he doesn't need to get the kill.
Chronicle was the heartbreaker. Not particularly. I had a bit of a glow up after high school. My early high school years were not great. But that's every gamer, you know? I think. No, you were fine.
I kind of went downhill.
You kind of went downhill?
Yeah, I was great
Well,
in high school,
you
man.
must have been very up the hill. You're great.
I was full of prospects in high school.
You are one of the best casters, and you casted the world finals of the biggest esports game in the world.
Yeah, but I could have been a mechanical engineer.
I guess.
No, it's just that, you know, I don't know. I just felt like I belonged in high school, and then I struggled for a few years afterwards. Actually,
yeah, it's the opposite for me.
It was easier. Everything was sort of mapped out, and then I had too many choices.
Are you a lawyer? No, not technically.
Does
I'm
have
not.
the thingy.
I do have a degree in law, but I'm not qualified because I would have to do a 2-year legal internship at a firm, which I did not do because I instead was like, let's try casting. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look where he ended up.
Yeah, stuck in a room with Atlas.
Sorry, man.
6 days a week.
There are a lot of career paths you could have chosen that would not have led to this room.
I think it was every other career path would not have led me to this room.
Yeah. You're studying to be a civil engineer, but working for Riot sounds good too. Yeah, I would have loved to do civil engineering. I think I should have done that because I'm obsessed with bridges. So that would have been really fun. But, you know, mechanical was cool too. Anyway, all roads indeed. All roads lead to Challenger. And even if you're not sitting on the chair,
watching it.
You would have still been
part.
watching, exactly.
What city are you from? I'm from Rotterdam. Well, give or take.
Demacia.
Demacia?
That's where Valdez is from.
That makes... Oh, Valdez is there.
Yeah.
He's back! Valdez, go take a break. Leave, please.
No, don't leave. Stay with us.
The failed career path led you to a room in Korea with Atlas. Sounds like a win. It was a win. Very happy. I don't think I would have been a very good lawyer.
You're not very argumentative, actually.
So the interesting thing is, if it's for someone else, I'm much better. I noticed this early on in law school as well. When I need to plead a case for someone else, oh man, the claws come out. But when I need to argue for myself, it gets...
Sounded nailing it.
It gets a lot. It's a lot worse. This Atlas
maybe
knows.
you just need to think think about yourself as someone
else. I've tried that. Yeah, it's helped a little bit, but I'm not convincing enough to convince myself.
Get smoked. All right, Sounder gonna have to ult. Ends up Warrior Trickstering away. That was some buttons that were pressed there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Was
Who
that
has
late
better
game?
late game? That's an interesting question.
I would lean towards the Nongshim composition, if not only for the fact that Caitlyn outranges effectively everyone on the Rift.
Yeah, like late game,
later. So it kind of curves left and right because I think in terms of mid game and like early mid to late game, so say from 20 minutes, like 2 items to like 3, 4 items. Maybe 2 to 3. I actually like the Hanwha comp a lot more. They still have enough hard engage where they are very threatening, and both Roamer and Lure are really, really big. But then, like when we get to like 40 minutes, which with the pace this case is on, might actually be a lot earlier. Why did they not pick Caitlyn earlier? Now I'm like very confused because clearly they can play it.
Maybe it was banned a lot against
So
them.
in that scenario, in that scenario here, they would be online a lot earlier. And I think Caitlyn to me is like. No one really does a lot against Caitlyn in this game, unless he mispositions and like Lure jumps on top of him, but it shouldn't happen. And he has great peel and CC, so...
Yeah, it's a difficult one to talk about as far as like late game and
it's really
things
interesting.
Like that.
I think it's a fun discussion with these comps.
Yeah. Because if like there is ever a moment where Nongshim get caught by Hanwha, like Hanwha's comp is just glorious in short range. But if it's just Phalanx set up front to back gaming and Nongshim have all the information, it's going to be very difficult for them to lose out on a fight. As now Roma is going to have to flash. Doesn't even yell at them.
I mean, a lawyer usually argues for that's true. You do often argue for other people. It's more so I'm not very structured, and a lot of legal work is. So I don't know. Maybe eventually you'll become a lawyer. You never know where you end up in life. But right now, I'm very happy to be stuck in a room with Atlas.
Well, you'll have to continue to be so. As Guan is going to grab a kill onto Double H. Lure is going to collect that one. That's pretty good news for Hanwha Life Esports fans. Jiwoo trying to get some damage back, but not quite able. Does have the Gale Force done. Can use that to play some aggressive video games. As nice little net. Headshot comes in as well. They're doing some work, but I think that these plates are going to go over to Harmon Life Esports pretty comfortably. And that should be able to bring us to parity. Okay!
Oh!
Sounder dives in. It's a really, really late wild growth. But it does mean that Rooster does stay alive. Guan in trouble as Sounder dives in again. Call me. Finds it with the Flux. Collects the kill on the Sejuani as Ju is just continuing to walk it down the lane. And Nongshim, it's now their turn to look for some plating.
Why not about defending this? They do have Maganar almost available here, but the health bars are relatively low.
We'll see what Mihail can do as well. He's got that all out available. Some repositioning. Does give the shield over to Ju. I like that. Support Cassante.
So the real problem here is that if you can't hard engage, you lose or you can't flank, you lose pretty hard. Because again, this is where we see the siege of Caitlyn is such a big problem in situations like this. Jiwoo, Lure is fine. Is Zeri, so should be okay here. But in situations like this where you really get to use the range of the Caitlyn and Humble Life isn't really threatening Jiwoo, the amount of DPS already is kind of revolting.
Yeah. It's working out very well so far. Sounder is going to start off this Infernal Drake.
Second Drake. Ooh, that's big.
That feels real good. And honestly, like, if they get a decent Drake coming up next, then Nongshim are going to be cruising, because that will really help round out their composition as the game goes on.
Nongshim's such a wild team, and a team that has like Nila in their most most picked up champions if they can get it, and like and Cassante one trick shouldn't be good.
Yeah,
but here we are. Like they're actually pretty clean. I mean, you know, Double H gets caught. They're still a challenger team, but moments like this, they go, huh?
They're pretty good.
Huh.
Making things happen. We do have a Chemtech Soul, which is a bit of a shame for, you know, those of who are enthusiastic about good souls.
Is Ranked Aram already available in 2025? It actually was available for about 2 years, and then it got taken away again, and Riot hasn't commented on when it's coming back or whether why it was taken away, just saying that, you know, they're looking into bringing it back.
They're considering the removal of Howling Abyss in its entirety, actually, based on what Ranked Aram did to the state of people.
Is Nexus Blitz back yet? Yes, but only on the second Thursday of every third month.
Yeah. And Dominion's back, and we now do the LCK on Dominion instead of Summoner's Rift.
But you do need to have access to the tournament realm to get onto Dominion, so only pros can play Dominion.
Yeah. But we prefer it that way so that your solo queue experience doesn't get affected by things that happen in pro.
Yeah, after Carrier started blind picking Ryze support every single game, Riot was like, okay, we gotta figure a way to deal with this. This is unplayable.
But the fans really liked it. We just wanted to stop its abuse in solo queue. As Guon regretted his decision immediately, got himself back out again. Ju is just living his best life, man. Just hanging out here in this mid lane, just shooting turrets.
Look at that. PvE, really hard. Doesn't have to do anything. Like, his team is continuously covering for him. Just chilling.
All right, now the Nara's making his way in. Oh, the defensive Cyclone from Sounder, actually kind of awesome. Noticing the Nara moving forward. Did hop and didn't have flash, so I guess maybe there wasn't actually an angle to get the Nara in there at all. But it looked kind of cool, theoretically.
Yeah, don't mind the defensive ultimate there. I'd rather do that than have the risk of your Caitlyn getting engaged on, because now with a huge stacked wave and taking down his mid turret, very, very big. More gold going into Jiwoo. And playing around this AD carry is something that Nongshim have already shown that they can do very, very well. And looking peachy right now.
Cast in an improv sentence. What does that mean?
Well, that's what we always do, kind of.
What? Like, how do you? Is that like
maybe
an accent?
It's like no, maybe it's like time, place, something. And then we have to,
each caster says one word only.
Oh, I mean we
can
definitely
try,
but
I
don't
think
it's
gonna
be
very
good.
Yeah.
So
maybe
not
tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, I Chat's very conflicted on whether this was good or not.
Yeah.
Seems a lot better than I'd have expected. Really? I feel like it was very slow. If we keep trying, we can probably do pretty fast.
Probably.
Wanna give it
a
go?
Not
particularly,
but
you're
probably
effectively
gonna...
Forced.
Me.
No, you, what? Forced?
Okay, I wanted to say be forced, but I skipped the
Oh, we just goofed
B. We
that.
went too fast, man.
Yeah.
We got too close to the sun.
Yeah, no, I messed it up as well. I said the wrong word.
How about a real improv sense like the one you didn't script before the cast tonight? But everything is always scripted. Do you really think people could make up everything in a cast?
How can this be a rebroadcast if it's not scripted?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Oh, Romano.
Oh,
Romano!
dear.
Oh,
Well,
it's fine.
he just does the little walk around. He'll be
Chilling.
okay. Takes a bullet.
Casters, focus on the game, please. Oh, do I have bad news for you, YouTube chat? Oh, no.
Oh no, Van
This is-
Linden.
this
He's been struggling with, or they've been struggling, sorry, with us not focusing on the game since like the beginning of
And
Challenger.
I apologize. We would, but we won't.
How can casting be real if our eyes aren't real? I think Sajax has a really good point.
I don't know. It's something that doesn't get asked nearly as much as it should.
I know. I really felt like Jaden had managed to get it out into
He
the
is
world.
a modern poet.
I know. But
You
like,
know what's actually horrible, and you and I never really had to live through this, but I was very cringe at. Oh, sorry, I was. What I
Cringe-worthy?
did was cringe-worthy throughout basically. I don't know, like up until my my mid-20s, everything that he did. But imagine being 14 and actually being famous and having access to Twitter. Like that's so bad. Like
that
you could be
doesn't sound
could
good.
be a really like well-adjusted person at this point, but like I look back at some of the poetry when I was like, I don't know, like 16, 17, and oh boy.
the fact that you have that sentence to
God.
say is a bit of a yikes, isn't it?
Well, no, I mean, I still write poetry. It's a fun hobby, but it's not good. And if I was a lot more famous and people would contribute that to me, it probably wouldn't be very good for me as a person.
Yeah, true. You might have actually stopped writing poetry at that point. Is it the negative feedback if it is actually
Exactly. And then I would never, because
not that good?
yeah, and then I would have lost out on a fun hobby that I slowly got better in over the years.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
My emo blog still exists on the internet. It does, yeah.
By the way,
Still
you
there.
you have a fan in YouTube chat. Their name is actually like
No, I know.
Chronicle
Yeah,
fan, which is
I
pretty
talked
cool.
about them earlier. That's really, really sweet. They were a genuine fan as well. I thought they were maybe me,
You're a
which also
poet
would have
and
been
didn't
fine.
even donut.
I love Valdes. I'm so glad he's here.
That's why he's a commentator, because he knows how to do the England.
We need a haiku from Chronicler about this matchup.
What
So
about
actually,
a loku? Can you do one of those as well?
I want to say words. I'm not allowed to say Atlas, but no, I will not. No, I used to do haikus on the original version of the co-stream / broadcast for challenges, which was just me and a bowl of soup and some bread
And a dream.
and a dream. And there were a point like reward. Could get personalized haikus.
That's pretty cool.
Only 3 kills in 19 minutes. We do have Jeff Soul, so none of this
Sounder
really
is
matters.
he really wants to kill Roma. He has really wanted to kill Roma this whole game, as the Petrifying Gaze is not going to do enough at all. Jiwoo just says goodnight to the snake. I think once again, this Cassiopeia counterpick that we've seen attempted so many times is going to continue not being that good.
Yeah, so the Cassio doesn't really work, and also the fact that Caitlyn was left open and Honwa Live, like us, were lulled into a false sense of security, worked out very well. Because this Caitlyn is just... Caitlyn Rise, like, went ahead is not okay at all.
And Caitlyn is never banned against this team, by the way. Like, it's actually just never banned against them. Because they've never played it, and they ban it the majority of the time. Like, I think it's just genius.
Like,
was
look
just
at the
holding on
setup
to
as
it.
well, right? Like, Sounda goes in very deep. They need their ground warp, the support from the team. Sounda making sure he flashes. They didn't really even need the teleport. That was a bit over the top. If Baron was up, that would have been good, but it doesn't even matter, right? It's a small mistake. They get out of it
Yeah.
pretty immense.
And they should be able to head towards the Soul pretty comfortably. They do have Soul Point now picked up. It is unfortunately a Chemtech Soul, but you know, the more, the merrier.
Hey, in this game state, it's fine because it gets you the Elder quicker. And you have Karma. She uses the individual drakes pretty well, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a bit sad though about this Cassiopeia situation. It
I really want it to work, right? That's where
me
too. I always love it when League has like a lot of counter picks that are good, and right now we don't have that many going on. Still rapid fire a second. I don't mind it as much in this game. If you're just sieging, which right now they are.
It's also it's just a
just
Korean
Sedge.
player favorite thing to
Also
be able
that.
to shoot things
Yeah.
from far away.
Yeah, but in the current game state, like you're not gonna
Call me.
I think he wins
maybe
this.
never mind. He's got his
Bounties
Cerebs,
are
he's
up.
fine.
Oh lord.
Nongshim kind of
Can
smacking
you
him.
explain Atlas in chat about T1 Soup? Yeah, T1 Soup was a meme because people keep coming into the chat, be like, hey, who are these good players? And I'd be like, yes, if you're not an LPL scout looking to take away my challenger players. And then we started talking about a non-existent player called T1 Soup because I always ate soup on stream. So T1 Soup is the go-to
Is he the
answer.
best player?
He's the best
ever?
player on T1. Yeah, he never plays because he's too good.
Too good. Yeah,
Yeah.
they wanna like.
Did T1 win?
Keep
No,
the-
they
keep
lost
the drama.
VRX 2-1.
Sounder is going to do some damage to stuff. Man, Roma does make it to at least a couple of items. He's behind a fair bit in comparison to Call Me, but he did at least make it.
He did.
To 2 items.
Game state is somewhat of a disaster, though.
Yeah.
Hey, he's level 14 now. That's cool.
Woohoo!
Whee!
Call Me is also level 14, soon to be level 15. What?
It's like the whole roller coaster. It's like going up and then down and then up again.
There are times where I don't listen to you and I regret it. But then there's also times where I listen to you and I regret it, you know?
Which one was this one, Atlas?
This one was the second one.
Well, I always listen to you. I don't really have a choice.
Yeah, but
Because I'm a polite person who
majority of
appreciates my
that,
co-cast.
the majority of that should be regret.
well,
I
at times.
apologize. Call Me will maybe hit level 18. That's very true. Does very soon to having level 16 for that better Realm Warp.
We don't
Feeling
have
good.
IE yet, so this is a possibly winnable fight, maybe. Oh no, he just hit level 16. That's tough.
I
but
think all of these fights are winnable
well, no,
for
technically,
a team.
but not really.
Ooh, there's a Glacial Prison that connects onto the Cassante, who doesn't care. He can go all out at any point. He could just go all out. As we're going to fight for this one, there's the flash in. Very dead Sejuani will be the result, as now Rooster caught in the back of the pit, but he's going to gnar and then flash away. Realm Warp going to be utilized here. The special delivery of the spinning monkey. Love that one. But now with no jungler, it could be that Nongshim wandered towards this Baron, set up some traps, and then kill it.
I want to remind everyone, this is a challenger's game. Do not think that this is done. Do not think that this is over. Do not think Nongshim have already run away with a victory, as they might be able to flip this Baron in a bad way somehow.
They could.
Even though they have smite advantage.
Smite advantage is definitely there. Call Me getting a lot of damage down. As we can see, we're moving towards the back of the pit. It's dangerous. There's the Baron. All right, everyone's just going to get over this wall. And Lure is going to dive into 2 people. Okay, Wild Growth comes down. Roma, nice tanking of the ace in the hole. That was really, really cool. As Double H wants to get them out of here. Not enough damage on this Zeri,
They're
unfortunately.
all fine. That's so
Yeah.
sad.
Everyone's K. Look at that tiny little tower.
Everyone just walks it off.
Wow. I was both worried for Lua and I was worried for Nongshim, and then the result was nothing.
I'm so whelmed right now.
It is whelming, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was a very whelming
At
circumstance.
the end, they didn't throw. They got Baron, and no one died. Like, what do we even do? What do we even say in a
I don't know.
situation like this, Atlas?
It's hard because it does just feel like Nongshim were winning until they won, you know? And that doesn't create dramatic League of Legends.
Whelmed and overwhelmed basically mean the same things. No, they don't.
No,
I
whelmed
wouldn't
is
say
just...
so. Whelmed is just the absence of feelings. Overwhelmed is the overabundance of feelings. The fact that
that how it is?
survives this, well, in this specific scenario, I'd argue so. Yeah.
I always thought there was just a quote from 10 Things I Hate About You.
What, whelmed? Yeah, no, it's a joke. Yeah, obviously. I didn't know it was 10 Things I Hate About You. That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Oh, of course.
It's such
One
a
of my
classic rom-com.
favorites. Kate Hudson
And Matthew McConaughey.
and Matthew McConaughey,
Who
both of
doesn't
them being
love both
gorgeous.
of them? Oh,
That's an
they're so
incredible
silly.
show.
It's such a good movie.
Big fan.
Can we get hikers again for channel points? If we can get channel points, maybe. It's weird when the casters are actually doing their job. Yeah, we try to shy away from that mostly on this channel.
Yeah.
7.5k gold lead now. Want to do a swappy?
Yeah,
I
sure.
don't play-by-play? Yeah. Here we go.
Sounds good.
I need you to fight the instinct, okay? Because I know that you're kind of used to just going cast team fights anyway when they start.
Probably
and I need you to push that back.
Yeah, but yeah, it'll be tough. As we can see, Nongshim setting up the siege. Will it be enough is going to be the question here, as boomerangs are flying forward. Very difficult for a very low-range composition like Harmon Life Esports to actually defend. Because their counter siege, not so good. The range advantage of this Caitlyn, so strong.
Both waves. Set up right now. Teleport flank could be available. There we go. In goes Rooster. Finds the stun. Call Me thrown back into the fight. Roma doesn't hit the ultimate. And Call Me keeps running. In comes Sounder. Knocks up free. Looks like a disaster for Hanwha Life. Call Me still alive throughout all of this. Jiwoo moving back 4. And this might be it, Atlas.
I think it just might be, Chronicler. Thank you for the play-by-play. I think this is... Oh, maybe the fight's not done. It is done.
Oh, it's over.
My handoff could have been a little bit faster there for you to get in a little bit more
That's
play-by-play.
okay.
But this is going to be the end of these Nexus turrets and maybe the game, Chronicler.
Gonna be it here as Nongshim take their first victory over Hanwha Life, the underdogs. No more. What do we? Who do we vote for? You take. You take pride on this one, friend.
I need to get the vote in because my brain is super huge and I know exactly what the best vote is going to be. When in doubt, you boom damage.
let me get in a.
But I actually think that the Caitlyn pick
was the real.
Was the actual. That was the GOAT move.
I'm going for.
I think Sounder was also very good.
Yeah, I actually really like the Caitlyn vote. That was my initial. The reason, chat, is that I had been a play-by-play for 3 years in Dutch mostly, but when I cast UM, it was actually as a play-by-play as well.
We only hire play-by-plays here.
Can't stand up to Atlas, obviously, but that's okay.
You can. You're taller than me.
Yeah, I am.
But I think it's I think the vote is Sounder. Because I think he was in great positions throughout that game.
Oh, his team fighting was really good, but you can make a case for anyone but Kusante and Karma, because they were like relatively low impact, but Jiwoo's sieging was amazing. Call Me had a couple of extremely high impact realm orbs, and Sounder's team fighting was pretty impeccable. Can you do play-by-play in Dutch? I can, but I don't think I want to.
I can definitely play-by-play in Dutch, but
Atlas
I
can't stand up to me in Dutch play. That's true. Yeah. I
can play-by-play in Dutch.
I guarantee you cannot.
I mean, it wouldn't be real Dutch words. It'd sound vaguely Dutch.
Okay, so now I kind of want to see if we can do that. Although everyone might be worried for your health if you just start speaking in gibberish.
Because I really shouldn't get that drunk.
No, I don't. Well, not only that, but also I feel like you might just throw out some bad words accidentally, just in the Dutching of it all.
No, that's if I was casting in a fully Australian accent. If I was doing the fully Australian accent.
If you went full Australian.
Then it would not be.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be.
Yeah.
No, I actually can't. I can't even start.
No, because then it's going to go downhill immediately.
My I only have the full sensor. The full sensor only works for whatever accent this is right now, not for the full Australian.
I have sworn on cast, like, accidentally. Well, once was on purpose, which was during the DRX, as it will be Jiwoo vote. I like it, actually. Clean Caitlyn game.
The man was good.
Yeah, very deserved. I am on board with this. As mentioned, Jiwoo and Sounder were my 2 picks.
Oh, man. We didn't even need to be here. Daddy plays, just Caitlyn was left over and Hanwha dropped the ball and that Nongshim got the dub. That's it. That's the synopsis.
That's it.
You've done it.
It's the whole game.
Ghost Kumo, thanks for that.
Very, very good summary. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And this was
Do
not
you put
that
Vegemite
much of a
in
game.
your cereal?
And you know the worst part is this was on the red side. So now you're kind of screwed because now you want to be
I think you just ban
Caitlyn. Well, okay, then you ban Caitlyn on blue side. That's a real feels bad, man.
They didn't ban. They weren't like Heimerdinger banners or anything like that. I'm trying to remember what were their blue side bans.
They banned. Ooh, they banned Jace. They banned. I don't know.
Because there were quite a few things that sort of snuck through. It might have been maybe you leave up the Varus and first pick it.
Could be the case, yeah. But then, well, okay,
I don't think the value of the Sejuani was that high. I actually think that it feels like a little bit of a wasted first pick. How many first pick Sejuanis have actually won? I don't know what the win rate is of first pick Sejuani.
So that to me is a tough one because I think the Sejuani is just because of the current state of the jungle and people don't want to pick Zac for some reason and no one picks Trundle. I think the Sejuani first pick actually is really good, even if it doesn't end up winning because... So basically in jungle, right, you have Maokai that's S tier. Yeah. And then you have Elise who's like kind
of S tier, but it's based on the rest of your draft.
Yeah, but generally will be S tier as well. And then Sejuani to me, I don't think it's actually S tier. I think she's like A+, and then comes everything else. So people just want to get the best jungler that fits into any team comp.
Yeah.
And works low eco as... Yeah, that'll be it.
It will be. Let's go to a short break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll come back for game number 2 right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Challenger 2023 Spring. I'm Atlas. This is Chronicler. That was the Korean broadcast, and we are ready for a second game.
What's up?
Not much, man. What's up with you?
I'm not talking to you, Atlas.
Oh,
Can you
sorry.
not butt into my conversation with the viewers? Bit rude, that one. How y'all doing? How's your night? Or morning? Or evening? Or lunch? I'm gonna jump in on the lunch bit. I was kind of hoping that would set you off.
No, it sounded normal to me.
Yeah. Exciting.
Saving pizza. Oh, having pizza. I thought you said saving pizza.
We haven't done ASMR cast in a bit.
It's true. I don't know whether today calls for it. It's a Monday thing.
No, it's a Monday thing. It's a Monday Game 7 thing.
Yeah. And we're probably going to go to a Game 6.
We definitely are, yeah. I don't ever see a way where,
we're holding hands. You guys just can't see it.
Look.
Stop that. Stop waving me. Thank you.
Okay, wow. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I just wanted to wave some more.
A little bit of waving. I know. I think it's really rude from Atlas as well to become between you guys and me. It's a bit inappropriate. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, King Spartan, you've got a point. And I should apologize, but I think I'll need to write one in a twit longer on Twitter. I think that's the only way that
apologies to Chronicler and Twitch chat.
That's the only way that you can actually properly apologize.
And either a simulation? We are. Yeah, we're not real. We are an AI. sent from 2025 back to here
Yeah,
to
rebroadcast.
commentate League of Legends that has happened in the future. That's
Indeed.
why none of the players you know and love are there. That's why we know things that you know from the future. Like
LCK
where
Twitter
is
update.
Faker?
Atlas, sorry.
Where is Jovi? Who are these players?
Hammerlife selected red side.
But I know. But then you're still. But I'm confused because on blue side you can ban. And you can get Caitlyn.
Paper thin. It's my boy Clinto. What's up, brother?
Hey, Clinton, how you doing, man?
Welcome to the descent. You've come in at game 5. Definitely a good time to hop in. Paper Thin and I used to commentate some PUBG together back in the day. We might have a secret project coming up.
Did you talk about tracking there as well?
Oh, it was beautiful. So much tracking. Most of the things got tracked.
Can we tell that? It's one of my favorite Atlas stories. Can we tell it to the chat? I don't know if chat knows.
Chat knows about beautiful tracking?
Atlas shouting beautiful tracking in Overwatch.
So, do you know the reason why it got so much traction?
No.
Tracking shin?
It
was because Taimu actually, he streamed, he VOD reviewed himself. And so he was watching the broadcast. And it was him that was doing it. And so it all sort of came from there. That
I think it's
he just had a giggle at it.
Yeah, as he should. I mean, it's genuinely. It's not. If you're dunking on a player, it would feel bad. But now it's just funny.
I don't think anyone was dunking on anyone because actually his tracking was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was just unnecessary.
No, but I know. But in case you're wondering, what's the best way to explain this in league terms?
There's no league terms. You would just have to explain it in Overwatch terms. Because Soldier 76 has an ultimate where basically he automatically shoots people that are on his screen. He gets aimbot. And the crazy thing is that Taimu pressed his ultimate button, and me, as a very new Overwatch commentator that also was up to hour 6 of the day or something like that, was trying to cast the team fight, and he was tracking beautifully. He just didn't need to in any way because it was aimbot.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, it was a good time. And then
I love that story. It's so good. Yeah,
and then Taimu went ahead and VOD reviewed his game and had a bit of a giggle at me. And it was a good time.
It's not as bad as my Worlds 2021, where everyone called me Boogerman for the next 3 days.
You did have a bit of that.
Did have and then no one in production told me, and then everyone for I think it was the next week afterwards for every single Worlds appearance.
Oh no!
Yeah, just called me Boogery Man.
Do you know what? I went to I went to get dinner last night. We had duck galbi up the road, which was absolutely delicious. But we walked past a burger joint on the way there, but unfortunately they'd mistranslated the name burger, and it was B-U-G-E-R. It was basically a booger joint instead. Not quite spelled correctly, but it did sound like that. Yeah.
They just first picked Caitlyn, though.
I mean, they may as well, yeah. You could even ban Ashe to make sure that you... Oh, what?
So Nongshim is good enough to play Caitlyn, but they don't... So this is back with what they have been doing. They've actually been doing this pretty consistently. So they just don't want to highly... So they get Ashe. What?
What?
What? How can you... Why would you...
What did I...
They didn't ban Ashe.
Well, sometimes mistakes are made inside the video game.
I mean, yeah, and he's good, but I think Ashe is a bit... Oh, okay, so we're just throwing down. Okay, I respect it. I don't think it's good. I don't agree with the choice, but I respect it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see what the jungle choice is going to be here for Sounder. Wukong or Vi, probably fine here. Neither of them really like being picked into Lee Sin that much because Lee Sin does tend to do some stuff.
Yeah, Wukong is worse, I think. Wukong... Oh!
Alright, we're going to Viego. Oh my god! It's a Lissandra angle. Really I feel like Viego's only,
Yeah, you love the Viego-Lissandra
Viego
combo.
Lissandra is actually really good.
But you
because
can't-
going
you can't pick
hard for
Lissandra
resets
here.
like that is like really, really
Yeah,
good.
you can't pick the list here.
You don't pick it here, but you can pick it
You have to
later.
kind of pick an AD. Oh, never mind. What am I talking about?
Yeah, sorry, it's
Nongshim.
Nongshim. Yeah. Well, now you can theoretically flex the Ashe somewhat. What about Ashe Neela? Is Ashe Neela a dope lane or what?
It sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, it sounds really bad. But
does
it is
not sound
Jiwoo.
good. Well, it is Jiwoo, and also you do get Ashe to level 6 quicker.
Yeah, there you go.
And this is a lot more fun than some of the matches we've had today.
True. That's Fiora. I mean, honestly, like, Cassante wasn't the thing in the last game. I think it's good to have a top laner that you can build a game around. And so I like what Harma Life Esports have done there.
Cassante is genuinely just exists because Mahao is a Cassante kind of one trick. And because it's a good front line. It doesn't do any. It doesn't bully lane as much anymore after the nerfs. Pikeban does come through. And they don't really know who's going where on Hanwha because the Annie can, well, specifically Annie can go in 2 places.
So can the Lee Sin. 3 places.
Okay, so what? Support, jungle,
Well,
top?
4 places then, I guess. Yep. You can play in mid, obviously.
Oh god, the Duro respect. I'm loving it. Duro is very highly ranked on the Korean ladder, and there is indeed, they actually respect the Neela enough. I mean, Jiwoo is really good on the pick, so it does make some sense to me. Nothing ever good starts with hear me out. Yeah, especially when I say it. You know I'm about to say something heinous.
This sort of has to be Draven, doesn't it? Oh, don't know about the Aphelios.
I don't like the Aphelios. Do Aphelios into Ashe? Are you kidding
Oh, and so
me?
now we're definitely playing Aphelios Nautilus, right? And he's going to go mid.
Yeah.
And so now you pick Lissandra Draven.
I'm down. I love the Lissandra Draven idea. Just win game for
Yeah,
it.
just win game for it. Easy.
Just
And
run
also,
them
like,
over.
think about the amount of value you get out of single target pick with that comp, right? That is just insanity.
Oh, Silas is so good. Or Syndra's so good into this comp.
Syndra's kind of, I think Syndra kind of does a similar thing, I guess.
No, it's not. I don't like to me, the Lissandra is much better for what you're saying, for like a snowbally style, but Hanwha has no range. Like 0. And
Yeah.
Syndra into a no-range comp is a disaster to play out. Very, very tough.
Oh, I love this. The
Oh
OG.
my god, we've not
The
seen it in
OG
so long.
Misfortune Ashe, and this is going to be played with Ashe support.
Yeah, it's a flip.
Which-
Do not go for if this is
This
a
is
Comet
Prey
MF.
and Gorilla's old,
If this is
bottom
if
lane.
this is a Comet MF, I will be very upset. This needs to be like crit PTA MF. Love that though. That's very good into MF.
That's kind of fun.
Man, Duro, what a gamer.
That is doing. I mean, it's going to be Nautilus
No.
because it was always going to be Nautilus.
No, bad. Go back.
Oh dear. So, well, I guess
You have a short range composition into MF and Syndra and Ashe.
Oh, please do swap. Thank goodness. Okay.
Yeah, they will. Yeah.
Okay.
Little rooster side eye there. It's
Yeah.
like, Eh?
So this is going to be a very difficult game for Harma Life Esports.
I'm not seeing it.
I don't really see the angle for them to
Well, they have
win.
okay. Well,
But it's Annie into Syndra.
It's Annie Nautilus.
No, but it's like Annie into Syndra though. Like,
Syndra can pick up a tipper
pick up the bear.
Yeah.
Oh no! You don't get any bear control. Your bear just gets thrown around. No.
Wincon for Hanwha, you flash with Annie and Nautilus and kill someone. Because
Yeah.
everyone on Nongshim, barring my house, is not tanky. And Viego kind of sucks. Viego's not a very strong place at the moment. Has a very specific job, but if you don't match Guwon early, then the champ doesn't really do that much. And the bot lane is really squishy, so I like the Nongshim comp way more if they can work around with Calmi's range advantage. But they don't really have an answer to Fiora late game. And if they don't snowball immensely, which I think they should, then they can get in some trouble as well.
Yeah, it's about whether or not Nongshim can get things done early, but they have all the tools in order to do so.
They
So
really
we'll
do.
know that Harma Life has a chance if we're still playing the game at 26 minutes.
Yeah, and there's also Ashe, and Ashe just kind of makes a lot of stuff a lot more difficult because the pick's super broken.
Yeah, she's extraordinarily strong. So Now, Nongshim don't have to worry about vision control that much, and they can set up for these objectives very, very comfortably. And Ash Misfortune is a very powerful lane, so it's going to be extremely difficult for Aphelios Nautilus to even play at all.
Hopefully it's PTO lethal tempo. I don't want to load into this game and see Comet or Dark Harvest. It'd be very sad.
Nah, it's Hail of Blades. Both of them Hail of Blades.
Worse. Well, no, on Ash it's really good, but not... no. No, Atlas.
No, it doesn't seem to line up with MF's passive, does it? All right, let's hop onto the Rift here and rock out a bit.
No! No!
Well, there you go.
It's been nerfed so many times.
I mean, it still does stuff in the early game. Can you just take Comet
really,
and then just build crit?
No, you're gonna go. Oh, you're gonna go lethality, which is fine into Hanwha. As long don't go if you still go OP after all the nerfs, you're kind of trolling. So don't do that.
AP. Did you ever do that?
Yeah, yeah. You could go Leandri's MF. It was really good.
Wasn't that only somewhat sort of good if you were support MF or no?
No. Could do it in on ADMF as well.
Wow.
I don't think we saw a lot in the, but it was a pretty common tech to the point where like it got nerfed because of how much it did.
Wow.
That specific interaction on Ultimate and E was changed repeatedly because it was very strong.
Well,
but it's no longer. So my expectation is you go early Doran's Ring for the mana, and because the damage on E is still relevant, and also in particular Aphelios hates getting outranged, and he's playing into Ashe and Emax MF. The downside is obviously that you are basically you're an ult bot, right? Like you don't your auto reset passive on Q is kind of whatever, and if you don't get off ult switch into Hanwha's comp, I think is actually really hard. You're kind of in trouble. There's Nautilus, there's Annie, there is Lee. So your positioning needs to be really good, which it's not impossible, but will mean your lane is a lot better though, as this is a normal Fiora experience.
Yeah. Standard. Mihail down to 200, but the wave is going to be crashing towards him, so he should be all right. Got some biscuits to eat if he gets bored. That's a bit of fun, as Lua takes, a lot of damage. So this is the benefit that you get from the Comet Misfortune, but it's still...
This.
Oh, okay, Sounder. Setting up for it. Stun will come through. And Guon taking a fair bit of damage. Misses the Q, that's actually huge. As now Call Me taking way too much damage from Roma here, as a Force of Will comes out. Roma will be able to turn this one around. Really nicely done by the Annie, standing her ground.
Well, the downside is Sounder is actually currently cleared his bottom half of the jungle. So he does need to try and play with either invading Guon, but Lure and Dura are now roaming up. They will vision at this, will get spotted, but they do have Pry on bot side, right? So on the next wave, Lure at the very least is going to have to kind of sit tight. And I expect to see Jiwoo and HH roam up and then help their jungler secure the bottom half of his opponent.
This is really interesting though. Guon just went back.
Yeah, I mean, he can't walk into his jungle right now anyway.
Yeah.
But because of the vision and because of Sound already respected, it's not really that much value.
Cute little hook there as Double H just going to barrier. Not going to lose out on too much health. Good ward. Going to spot Sounder moving in as Guon. He's coming over, does have his red buff still. And the Q is going to connect this time around. All right, Tempest Cripple comes through. There is the hook. It's going to miss. That's 6 points in my country. And now Lure is just going to be rained on momentarily. Ward over the wall. Going to spot out Roma. Wants to avoid the scat of the week. Doesn't need to worry about it, but I liked the thought.
So instead of getting ahead in your jungle, you're getting ahead on bot lane because Lure is actually taking a substantial amount of poke. And with Duro continuously roaming, they are really taking a beating. And now you're out of your pots. I'm pretty sure Lure also went cookies, so you're gonna not be feeling super hot as this next crash does come in. And with the amount of vision that's already available, Jiwoo and HH also have plenty of opportunity to keep a lot of pressure here on this bottom lane. Although the ward will time out shortly, but there are still a bunch of other ones, so should still be completely okay, and is going to lead to a pretty significant lane advantage here, which in of itself, quite nice. Actually, interesting early game start. I'm really happy I get to talk about the actual game, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's not just Lucian, Nami, Zeri, Lulu.
Well, Lua is not having as much of a good time as you are, as Double H gonna flash. Make sure he gets out of the way of that one. Nicely done, Lua. Connects his Calibrum Q. But now Flash is down, heal is also down. And so you're running at a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to these summoner spells. Still, we're gonna have to collect their wave and try to catch back up again. Stu is gonna go back. We'll see what he can complete here. I'm imagining something like a Serrated Dirk to come in, as that is a tier, and not quite able to afford the Serrated Dirk just yet on this spec.
Don't mind it as much. Your power spike on 2 items is going to be really big with this. And yeah, as expected, will probably be just the Eclipse into Mana Mune build, which still will do very nicely. HH going for the Mandate first, which I don't like as much. The adaptive damage that you keep if you go for the Umbral Glaive first is very strong.
Yeah.
But the item did get nerfed in this patch, so people might want to try and stray away from it a little bit more. Meanwhile, on top lane, Mahal not having the best in time, getting an early Bramble Vest, and that's okay. Good item against Fiora, but not going to feel super excited. Both mid laners also picked up like a no magic mantle, just to be like, I don't want to get all in there.
Everything you can do, I can do better, I guess, as Double Up is going to miss. But that's okay.
Yeah, you don't care about your double up on this MF as much. You just spam E.
True.
Very fun and interactive gameplay.
I feel like Double Up is actually like very satisfying though.
It is. Oh no, I love playing crit MF and like double upping someone for like a quarter of their health.
Yeah. And Lethality MF does a heck of a lot of double up damage too.
Yeah, but he has 1 point.
Yeah. So now it's not as good.
No, it's not as fun. That's why we're sad. We're playing Comet MF.
It is sad. Still, Lua is also very sad because the rain is it hurts, you know. This is not like
it's an early Vamp Scepter as well. So either he's going Shield Bow, which feels very bad, or he's setting behind his Mythic, which also feels very bad.
Well, Roma is going to take 50% of his health bar. He's doing fine mana-wise though. Call me struggling in that department just a little. Should be okay. Just collecting slivers, hanging out.
Just get slivers, just get slivers.
Ooh, Roma gonna get stunned up there, but doesn't take too much damage because he's got a mantle that nullifies magic.
So the one upside is that post 6 his lane becomes a lot more playable because you have actual all-in threat. And Dora can just press R on one of the obnoxious poke champions and be in a much better space. We also haven't seen Nongshim actually take a dragon early on. It's not the best dragon, but still you'd ideally be stacking early objectives here because, as mentioned previously, you can get into some serious trouble if you get into the mid to late stages of the game without picking up at least somewhat of a lead, as now we'll have the full roam come through. That's a big committal. Yeah, Rooster's heading towards bot, but
all right.
Not too sure how much Rooster is going to be able to get done here by himself. They're going to give the Drake. Yeah, not even going there. That is going to be a lot of play. This is not looking to be worth.
No, especially with the Drake being secured as well. Next one going to be a Mountain. Definitely one that's a lot more worthwhile to fight for. But with 2 plates already going down, it makes this a difficult one to sell, like you were talking about.
Also, I'd much rather be the Cassante in this scenario. Cassante very hard to dive. And Fiora, barring Riposte, is diveable, and even if you don't go for the dive, doesn't have nearly as much CC available.
Yeah, I think Mahal is like kind of just happy. As Bear is going to fall down into the mid lane. Nice scatter.
Oh, we're waiting. There we go.
There it is. Yeah, picks up Tibbers to throw that one back. And look at this, like Mahal's just chilling, man. He's having a good time.
Yeah, he also now has Sounda shadowing in. Good back coming through there.
And the Rift Herald's going to come down, but with 3 people, should be able to, yeah, they at least get the charge. This plate might die. Calibrum is going to be there. Hook is going to connect. That is really good. Okay, the kick flash coming through as well as now Double H. But why?
Bit of barrier. I think he got backed on vision and then got caught. Well, so game state, pretty disastrous now.
Yeah, this went from it was Mahal chillin', having a good time, to not chilling, not having a good time. Heartbreaker comes through. It's exactly that, as Duro is going to find him. Dash away, though. Let's see whether they can get in here. No flash for Roma, but he didn't need it.
Duro and Hook champions.
He's pretty good.
Built different. It's going to be... We knew it was 6 games. We knew it was going to happen. I don't know why I feel a slight sense of surprise here, Atlas.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of right there with you. As also, there is the challenger thing of if you've got a more powerful mid and late game composition, it's generally better than the team that goes for the very early game.
Yeah, just
because we still really quite like the Nongshim Coppers. Yeah, this is just, it's Ghost Pure. I don't know what you... Anyway, that's fine. It's fine. It's just, you know. Yeah. It is, we still don't want to talk poorly about the Nongshim composition, because I do really like their idea.
Yeah, we don't call teams trash here. Be careful with that. That can get you a quick timeout. We are always on the edge of positivity, cutting edge of being positive.
The cutting edge of positivity.
Yes.
It's positivity that you haven't even, it hasn't even been released yet.
You don't even know. Like, yeah. we're positives in ways
Next
that are
level
unimaginable.
Yeah.
That are unheard of.
Well, it is still a 30 CS lead for Jiwoo. That's good news. The unfortunate thing is that it's not being converted into good items as much as it could have been.
Fine.
Otherwise,
this is challengers. Anyone can win or lose at any given point. I've given up on trying to read this region because you cannot. It is impossible. But right now, Hanwha have the easier comp, and they're playing it well. They're just engaging on everything, and everyone, all of the time.
It's
and
working.
That's what they need to do.
I want to see some arrows from Double H. You know, some Ash play.
Oh no. Very spooky.
Okay, they are just going to get spotted out. Hawkshot getting some value there, as we can see.
Oh.
All right, Sounder's moving in. They are wanting to bait this.
Okay, I don't...
All right, one of them went home. And now, Arrow is going to connect. Great buffer on the dredge line.
Yeah, it's fine. You're just looking to take down the turret here.
May drop a bear, decides not to.
Does have the mercs, and as such, not really too scared.
Another hook is going to connect as Double H just very casually dies. Lua will be taken down, though, as now Sounder decides not to possess the body and reset the aggro, I guess, because he was going to die anyway, because there were no minions left. And now, Guon is looking for Jiwoo. Can strut her stuff, as the Q needs to be avoided. There it goes. Very nicely done by Jiwoo, but unfortunately, Double H not looking super comfortable on the Ashe.
That dive is a bit unfortunate. Stay positive. We're always positive. One sentence. And the next said it doesn't matter. This is challengers. Yeah, I don't see how those two statements are. Can you explain?
Well, it just means that he's trying to analyze something in a predictive manner, but he can't predict this this league because it's very difficult to get a true read. It's not a negative or a positive. It just means that it's
Rooster should
somewhat
be fine
difficult. Here. As Double H, you know this.
Why are we still here?
Grand
just
challenge.
To have a good time with us. Just to enjoy. Just to see the up-and-coming talent of the LCK.
There's absolutely no suffering going on here. This is enjoyment. This is the peak. And this is also probably going to result in a third game in this series.
Yeah,
if things go the way they're expected to. So really, I guess maybe it won't.
Oh, that's true. But the short days generally are reserved for Veldis and Wolf.
That is true.
We get the longer shifts, and that's okay. That's just
I mean,
how the cookie crumble. I'm joking. I know that they're not set in stone up front practice.
No, but it's also like they had the long shift yesterday.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. And I'm not 100% sure. There's something in the back of my mind that says that they took away the ability to reset turret aggro with Viego, his passive at some point. Because I know it was there at the beginning, but I don't think it's still there.
Oh, kick flash, flash, and Guon wasn't actually able to get the mini stun.
Back to LPL, my eyes can't handle these plays. Well, you will not be missed, so enjoy yourself. As, yeah, it doesn't reset turret aggro, that's what I figured as well. Took it away, which makes sense. Viego was a bit overtuned on release.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a good thing. As Hanwha looking to start off the Rift Herald, see whether they can grab it.
You have Ash Arrow, but there's a lot of turn and hard engage.
Yep, sounded nice dash. Needed to do that one. And they are going to give up on this one for now. Ju gets the wave into the turret. We are just going to back away. Mihail does manage to crash his wave as well. So the side lane control certainly working here for Nongshim outside of this, which is Roma moving up and should be able to take this outer turret as there's a teleport.
Ooh. Oh, the arrow!
Okay,
it's
the
coming.
arrow, it's going to connect. Double H! He's done it! The redemption! The redemption for the Ashe is now Roma's going to have to flash. There is the scat of the week as well. I love that after the ulti. But he is still running pretty quick with that shield. Still not going to be enough, and Call Me is going to take him down. So, the Annie will be the second death for Hanwha Life Esports. Maybe a turnaround here in the works.
Yeah, you see Romer with Rod of Ages done and his Merc Threads.
Yeah, that took a lot of killing.
Yeah, no, it's very... Also, Cassante is in a pretty important state this game, but like, very tanky Annie. Very tough to deal with, and forcing a teleport here towards the bot side of the map. Nicely done. Hanwha Life still on the forefront of the play. We're funneling gold into Mihail, which I'm not necessarily on board with, as, yeah, we'll have the arrow, as you call it, the redemption arrow.
Yeah.
This is flying redemption right there. Romer, however, is able to hit a shield, tries to sidestep, it doesn't work, but this is Mercs. So the stun doesn't last that long, and yeah, this is Annie with like a ton of health, a pretty decent amount of MR. So in the end, Mihail is forced to ult. I think with the ult and the extra damage that he gets, we're always able to kill the Annie there, but they really want to give the kill to Syndra, because obviously kills on Cassante don't really matter, and your Syndra is the sole piercers on your team as well. So being able to get her fed is very, very valuable. And
I don't know how they deal with Rooster now.
They don't. No, so they don't. They have to kind of win the early game so that the turn from Hanwha wouldn't be threatening enough to just win fights automatically. But that's not the case anymore. So Mihail better go like 4 mil into Warmogs and then just, you know, take half his health bar clearing a wave.
Yeah.
Just heal it up and then keep doing that.
Might have to be that little tactic.
Also,
it goes.
love this build from Lure actually. Kind of slipped my mind. Goes for the Blade, rather the Blood First or Second, which we've been seeing more and more. Good into the amount of burst that's there for Nongshim, and also ties into the Vamp Scepter that he got early. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, the tip is from the top side of the map. A lot of you talking about that one. As Grand Challenge issued, Sounder going to come up here as Mihail does give him access to the heal. And now Sounder might just lose out because that's a fair bit of healing. But still, he has a full health bar, so he'll be all right. And they do manage to grab the kill onto the Fiora.
Bit scary there for a second, but Rooster is going down in the end. And that's Sounder getting a little bit more fat. Is on a Viego, so not necessarily the most... Oh, we do have ulti available.
Okay,
Might
Lure, cross shot.
No, going to just be the Gale Force.
Yep, Nongshim just going to push towards the turret. We'll see whether they can actually knock this one down, as Mihail has a couple of creeps here, but he's pretty low on health. Oh, that scatter, really, really nice, as Lure going to take a gameplay button to the head, but is otherwise going to be okay.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't think they actually want to go for this dive. Doesn't look like they are. Instead, going to peel off. And they really need to watch their flanks, because if Guon gets behind them and just kicks either Jiwoo or HH into the enemy team, they just lose the fight immediately.
Yeah.
And we have a dragon about to spawn. This is Hextech. We haven't talked about it much yet, but actually a very important Drake here.
Well, okay, go on, taking a bit of damage. There's a... Yeah, the Make It Rain not really hurting as much as it was in the early game. And Nongshim going to move towards this Drake. It would be huge.
Very big, yeah. Ability haste is really good on everyone. And as mentioned,
the Soul Zappy would be very strong for everyone on this team.
Also kind of helps because they're a poke comp. And being able to actually land a lot more damage with your poke is great, but with how they're currently posturing, they're going to give it up. They're going to look for a play on the opposite end of the map. Not wanting to go into this, as that should not work.
Well, the Riposte is going to be there. Now Riposte is on cooldown. as Hanwha are just going to take this Drake. Nongshim have decided the fight on the Fiora is way more important. Grand Challenge going to be issued. Let's see whether Rooster can make this one happen, as he's gone all out and does have the damage to take her down. But still, this Dragon will be taken by Hanwha Life Esports. And I think that for their composition, they're very happy about denying this one.
Yeah, you get a kill on Fiora, so what? Doesn't really matter, and these early Dragons are going to make a really big impact when we get to the later stage of the game. Already the Hanwha Life hard engage is so much better.
Yeah.
Barring, specifically, these picks are very dangerous though. You can't give too many of these to Nongshim, but if HH isn't hitting arrows, then they're not getting picks. Their hard engage outside of that is very lackluster.
Available, speaking of which, as that's a flash. That's another flash. And now Guon is going to also flash. The kick's going to come through, and that is a dead misfortune. Finally, it's like the fourth flash that's actually going to get the kill, as Depth Charge almost just murders the Ashe, and the follow-up is going to be there from Lua. And now Hanwha are just going to walk over to the Baron. I think the use by date is, I think it's, you know, you're like reach into the fridge and you're like, something smells bad, and I think it's unfortunately Nongshim's composition.
Yeah, I didn't even... I don't know if the comp had a use-by date, or if it was just bot expired. You know, you go to the market,
and it's just
and you come in, and you just have this, and it just doesn't really... It looks like it's not that good, and it turns out it isn't.
Yeah.
As, Myhal, you gotta... Yeah, you gotta stand guard there for your man. And didn't have ultimate, so might not have been enough regardless, but gotta at the very least try and make it harder for Guon to actually find his way onto your backline. And again, bot lane dies. That's Nash, and I'm pretty sure that is also going to be game here. Hanwha Life looking to take it back in this game number 2.
Looking real good while they do it as well. 2.6k is the lead so far, but we've still got 2.5 minutes of this Baron. And they'll be able to get all of these waves sorted out, in theory, and then transition over to the Drake fight after a reset. Should be a really good position for Hanwha Life right now. It's Nongshim trying to stay in it, trying to get these battles working. But look at Rooster. I mean, this is the happiest Fiora game. Now just absolutely set as Roma comes on down. It's a little bit of a snare onto Mihail, but he is still pretty tanky. Roma will get hit with the arrow as Mihail goes all out. Let's see whether this is going to be good for him or not, as he gets taken down extremely low, and there it is. The reapplication once again, and Lua is going to be able to lock that one down. Tibbers will be eradicated, but this is so good for Hanwha because they get themselves a kill, and they also had Fiora in a side lane the whole time.
Ooh, very important, by the way. We got a really friendly apology for some of the comments earlier.
Oh,
no
that's
problem.
nice.
Yeah, if you know, we don't want to go in. Oh no. We don't want to go in too hard like Sauna did there, although he is Viego and he can really help himself. The unfortunate reality of the internet is that sometimes, you know, things can't quite come across the way you mean to. No problem. I hope you're still enjoying the broadcast.
Who was it that said that?
It's a little bit up. It's already up. But it was very friendly, very genuine, saying how they've been enjoying it, the broadcast nonetheless, and don't worry, you're still a welcome viewer. It's just not. It just doesn't do that much, right? Like the MF pick, it was just lane, and lane didn't do that much because they couldn't find an early dive. Because I don't think Viego is very good, and then they didn't get anything. This was the Viego build that was used previously, which has been nerfed like 15 times. It doesn't really do that much. So, unfortunately, I don't see Nongshim really coming back into this one with the current game state as it is, because Hanwha Life can just press their buttons.
Yeah,
and they're completely fine.
They're very happy with how the situation is. I really did have a degree of hope for Nongshim's composition. But there are quite a few things that really did point it away from
we also had
success.
like a 20-minute pause. I don't know if it was 20 minutes, like 15 minutes maybe?
Yeah.
Something like that.
It was a decent length of pause.
Double, triple gamers. It's okay. We're
double,
right here
triple
with you.
gamers.
Double, triple gamers here with you.
Yep, that's our intro song.
It's actually on a new album, but you guys just got a sneak peek.
Yep. We'll be
Atlas
bringing
and
that
I
up.
are releasing a mixtape.
Yep.
It's called Atlas and the Chronicleizer.
Yeah.
Don't forget about us.
Don't.
Part 2.
Don't you
Forget about us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part 2. All right. Yeah, Nongshim are really struggling in this game, guys.
No. I don't know if Nongshim's the one struggling, Atlas.
Ooh, Guon taking some damage.
He did take a little bit of damage.
I like how as soon as we talk about something maybe being positive for Nongshim, as they are going to find themselves a hook onto the Nautilus. Sounder wants to try and finish him off, the dredge lines, and this is the problem, because the observers keep showing us over and over again that Fiora still exists, and so we're like, Nongshim doing it. Oh wait, never mind. Because what do you do about that ever? Well, you take a Drake and you pray.
You send in Mahile. Oh no, not Sunfire. You need Warmogs. Warmogs is really good here.
At least he went for the Thornmail. He's got that part of it.
Well, that part, he's got lockdown, man.
Yep. Well, still, we've evened out the dragons. For Hanwha, this is no big deal whatsoever, because they still have an advantage. They also have a composition that does just continue to work, as long as they play sides well and things like that. If it's Teamfight Fiora, then maybe it's a different story, but as we can see, Rooster is playing these side lanes really well.
Hullbreaker as well. He only has 1 kill. Kill participation. That's what we need.
That's what we want.
That's what we want to see. Teleport force, see if Call Me realizes that Rooster would definitely kill him, and he doesn't want to get taken down.
Yeah.
What is he currently working with in terms of items? Looking like
a book.
It is a book, and it might be Morello's, which I actually don't hate. There's a lot of sustain on the enemy team, and
I think it's okay.
It gets Magic Pen now, so it's a little bit better than it used to be as we try to set up picks. But we don't have that much going on for us, unfortunately.
Oh, Guon pretty happily just dives on top to protect his control ward. We'll be able to do so here. As Rift Scuttle is going to get him kicked back in. So Arrow will connect. That is a really dead Viego who tries to Heartbreaker his way out. But not sure about the angle. And
that was
he's
great
just dead.
bait. Guon also hitting that while emoting.
Yeah.
That's some high quality gameplay right there.
Heck yeah. That's how we know that he's a professional gamer. As now Hanwha going to start off this Baron. Still somewhat dangerous. Is it? But it probably
I don't know
isn't.
if it is. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely going to be theirs if they, have a smite relatively handy, which they do. But if there is a bullet time angle or something like that, perhaps there is a good moment. As Depth Charge is going to be used into the back line, and Double H is really dead. Jiwoo going to find an ulti, but it's, leaves a little to be desired. As in goes Guon, just having the best time ever. He will go golden, as Mahile tried to pull him back, and now Rooster should be able to tidy up this entire team. We mentioned this problem, and the Fiora is definitely a thing. That's I'm going to go with the...
Yeah, right there with me, bud.
At the top lane?
No. Did you want to vote for... Do you actually want to vote for Fiora in this one?
Yeah,
not the lead.
Or Duro.
The lead is... Duro is actually a good shout. You can do Duro Guon.
I'm Duro Rooster.
It's your vote, Atlas.
Because I think Rooster is the reason why they're going to win. His existence.
Okay, well, it's your vote, Atlas. I'm not.
What do you think, chat? Who do you think gets POG this game? I'm thinking it's between Duro or Rooster. The Kips.
No,
we got some Guons.
Yeah, it's
Duros.
Lee or Duro.
Well, I mean, it's
not Rooster.
Because I have a vote.
Well, no, you asked who is going to get it, not who are you going to vote for. So
you should make who I should vote for.
Who you should vote for. Okay, then I will obviously.
Always like the support vote. All right, into that. There's quite a few Duro voters. He has played very, very well. And also, the lane phase should have been much more difficult than it was. Media Keck W is definitely worth the vote.
I'm so glad that's stuck around. That's still here. That's lovely. We are trying to pick.
All right, let's see how this team fight is going to go. Duro's going to go golden. Eats an entire bullet time because of it. You love to see that. The bottom lane just eradicated. Duro might go down, and he does. But he's sacrificed himself for the good of the colony, as that is going to be the ace. And Hanwha Life are going to march it down. Maybe it's actually Lure.
It's not Lure.
Maybe I'm a boom boomer.
No. Well, no, you're not that much of a boom boomer. If you're a boom boomer, vote Duro.
What? He's not doing the boom boom.
No, it's not a it's a boom boom KDA vote, which is adjacent to a boom boom damage vote.
Oh, no. I'm a boom boom damage voter.
Okay, so who do you vote for? I need to adjust.
Oh, God, I just don't know. I'm going to vote for Rooster. No, Guon. Just give us 2 Guon votes, I guess.
2 Guon votes. Double jungle, please. And Humble Life, take the next game. Red side, more OP in Challenger? Question mark. I don't know. Maybe don't ban Caitlyn when you can play it on blue side, when you just won a very clean game with it. Food for thought.
Yeah. I still just wish it was Lissandra.
I don't think the Lissandra really solves any. I think the MF pick was not that good.
No, it definitely didn't quite work.
Because you don't actually have a way to keep MF safe at all. You could have picked Saya. And then Lee never does anything.
True. Zaya would have been pretty strong.
Yeah, and it's also good into Annie and Nautilus.
And Aphelios.
Yeah. But no!
They also picked Cassante. So, honestly, like...
The Cassante, that's the worst part. That's what I don't like, is that the Cassante to me is the least... The least of the problems.
Is definitely the least of the problems.
Okay, so Ash is least of the problems as... Oh, that was very quick.
Yeah, picks it up. Guon played some great League of Legends. But so much of it, I think, comes down to... Yeah, miss execution on the Nongshim side. And I think it's because we had such high expectations after what they managed to do in Game 1.
Yeah, I don't know if I did. I think on a subconscious level, I already knew what was about to transpire.
Daddy Plays might have a decent idea here about Humble Life picking red side, throwing a spanner into the works for Nongshim. Maybe they weren't as prepared.
Could be. I'm baffled by the insistence to play the Viego and the reluctance after a really clean Caitlyn game to pick up the Kate.
I mean, the Caitlyn was banned. Oh,
by
right,
them.
because they banned it themselves.
Because they banned it.
Yeah, and they've been banning it, like, a lot.
They have.
Like, overall, they ban it more than half the time.
Maybe just doesn't want to play it. Maybe that's the, the angle.
You know, teams just in general are pretty reluctant to play it these days.
It really does railroad you into one specific playstyle.
Yeah. And if you have to pick it early in the draft, then it means that you can't fashion your draft and then pick it accordingly. And that's what Nongshim were capable of doing last time around. So maybe that's just the way that they like to do it. I think I went up to... When I went and got makeup at the main studio, I went up the elevator with that girl who was in the audience. Cool stuff. Anyway, we are going to go to a short break when we get back. Game number 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Challenger Spring 2023. I'm Atlas. I'm joined by Chronically here as we bring you the third and final game of this series between Hanwha Life Esports and Nongshim Red Force. Nongshim went for an experimental draft, which, upon review, I think I liked more than I should have.
Yeah, I have this as well, where because it's new, you're like, oh,
this
that's
could
shiny.
work.
Yeah, but I think both of us are particularly sensitive to this. Like, oh, it's shining. That's cool. It's new. And then it's not.
We
good.
can see how this could work.
That's
and
not
then
shiny.
Then you realize that, in actual fact, a lot of the things were just not good. And so when a lot of not good things get put on a team together, then the result is generally also not good.
Yeah, so the Ashe, Syndra and Cassante were all fine. The MF maybe in a different comp, and the Viego just no. And then
I didn't like the Syndra either.
No, Syndra to me was fine if you have anything to play around it at all, but you didn't really. The Viego to me is the worst. Like, I would rather have seen Jarvan there. Imagine if you have that same drop, then you have Jarvan.
Sounds
right?
good.
Like, doesn't that sound better? MF Jarvan, that's a good combo. You're playing into Aphelios and Nautilus. Like, they can't get out.
Yeah.
Annie as well.
Jarvan actually
Can still
seems
match
pretty
Lee
good.
early.
Well,
He's
I
like
wonder,
getting nerfed the next patch. Like, I don't know.
I wonder whether Jarvan is strong right now.
He's getting nerfed on 13.4 because he's too good because they overbuffed him this patch.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Not in the LCK. They didn't actually. The bus didn't go through. He's actually unplayable here in the LCK. This is what happens when Malrung leaves. Everyone forgets that Jarvan's a champion because they never play against
We
it.
need Malrung, man. Where's Malrung? I mean, we know
Needs
what
to come
Malrung
back.
is.
Yeah,
He got 3-1 last night.
yeah, they did.
He did.
That means that he's probably got some time on his hands. So come back to
No,
Korea for a
because
bit.
he's still in the running.
Oh, so he's in the lower bracket now?
I think so. I don't know. I don't really keep track of the LEC, unfortunately.
Neither do I.
As we have very, very limited free time, and that time is not spent researching other leagues. It's time.
Our free
we spend on
time is
this.
spent on other broadcasts
Yeah.
in Korea. That's how we spend our free time. Because outside of that, we have time to sleep, and that is about it. If anyone's ready to bring J4 to LCK, it's probably Carrier, yeah, or CV Max. Yeah, Slimy D, you got an idea there? Could be CV Max could come up with some strats, but we'll see. Nongshim have selected the blue side, and so we'll remain on the blue side for the remainder of today. And so then the theory of maybe they didn't have the blue side strats prepared kind of goes out the window. So let's see what we're going to be banning here. We love banning Heimerdinger still in Challenger for some reason. And maybe instead we'll ban Annie or something like that. Maybe they'll say, Annie's too strong.
Chronicles, when are we going to be free from Vi, Maokai, Sedge? Maokai until he gets nerfed, but Vi and Sejuani are... Well, Radiant Virtue is a little overtuned, but what is more pressing is that right now the only correct way to jungle is to spam ganks. Because of how catch-up and soaking and kill XP works, it is infinitely more valuable to just spam gank, and because of that, the bot lane meta is very out of whack, because in bot lane, ganking is in general very valuable. So you have a meta where junglers want to do nothing but gank and then buy extremely cost-efficient items. And as it turns out, the tanks are the best for that, right? That's the only one we don't see is Zac, but I think Zac also, frankly, is completely playable because he does the same thing as Sedge, and he does the same thing as the Vi. Maokai is a little different because he actually was overtuned. I don't know if he's still as overtuned as a damage threat. As
Will Nongshim first pick Caitlyn?
No, they won't. They should, but they won't. So you should, yes,
would be a
just
good
spam
idea.
gank. And if any of your ganks work, you're going to be even in XP to the guy that has been farming. And if you don't, just soak some XP off the wave and you'll be fine.
Well, let's see that first pick Cassante.
Sure.
First pick Annie.
Like
All
that.
right.
I'm okay with that. Pretty creative, pretty flexible rather. I don't know why I said creative. Annie at this point is pretty much a mainstay.
Now to Hanwha Life go for the Caitlyn because Lua hasn't been as inclined as Heimerdinger.
No.
Lee Sin.
Well,
Well-
Guwon's Lee was great. That part's fine.
And so now what stops Nongshim from just picking Caitlyn Karma?
Well, they can just go Kate Annie.
True.
Kate Karma also fine.
So-
What stops
so
them?
they pick-
Their own fear. But they have learned. They accepted the Church of Caitlyn.
Yeah, it's Kate Karma. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
Kate Karma.
I actually...
Well, they just
yeah.
left it for no reason in Game 2. I was just expecting them to continue with that. But they could have picked this Game 2 as well. Make it make sense, Atlas.
It doesn't make any sense. Humble Life have just prioritized a champion that has been nerfed into the ground and hasn't been winning very much in order to give away the strongest possible early game.
Jin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they round out their disaster with more catastrophe.
Okay, we've seen Jin be pretty good. Okay, I don't think Jin, the Heimerdinger and the Leap priority are much more baffling to me than.
I think the lead priority makes sense because Guwon just picked up player of the game on it, so keep him on something that he's comfortable
Yeah,
with.
just pick Lee and Kate.
Well, yeah. Yeah. No, the Heimerdinger is atrocious.
I just don't see it anymore. Bell, wow.
Got to
Okay,
make
so-
sure that you do ban away the Bel'Veth.
Oh,
That's
I know
important.
Nongshim's going to pick Viego again. No.
Well, they can pick Vi.
Yeah, I do agree with you though. Vi into Lee doesn't feel great. But what does feel great? Elise is banned. Poppy is not in a
Ooh,
great
it's a
space
Master
in the
Yi
meta.
angle.
Okay, I know you're joking.
I think it's a Master Yi angle, probably.
I know you're joking. So I'm not going to give that statement more attention than it deserves.
Why doesn't anyone pick Orianna? All of these mid laners can play Orianna, right?
Yeah, I don't
She's
know,
been meta forever.
Into Annie, yeah.
Orianna into Annie is so good. Oh my god,
Do it.
yes.
Do it. I don't even care if you
Yes.
lose. It's not happening. You were just trolling us, but he's not in a great state at the moment. I love Kha'Zix
I love me a
personally.
good Kha'Zix.
Really fun champion.
I like Kha'Zix in solo
Please.
queue more than I like
Please,
Kha'Zix.
no. Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yes!
there he is.
Let's go!
Never mind. Whoa,
Thank you,
how many
Nongshim.
W's could we get in this draft? I mean,
They're
it'll be
learning.
Cassante, won't it?
Yeah,
You'll lock in
Cassante.
Cassante.
That's fine. Cassante is no problem at all. It's like comfort for Mile, and we saw in the last game. Like
I mean, it is a problem, but we've just learned to accept it because it's Mihail and he will
okay,
always play
but
it.
for this team, I don't mind it. Like, what else? Otherwise, you what? Blind picking Na or Jax?
Yeah, Jax is fine.
I don't like Jax into Syndra and Heimer. I can see why you wouldn't want to pick that.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Wow. So we're like scaling to the late game so that our nothing that exists in the late game can do more nothing in the late game? Wow.
Hanwha didn't quite stick the landing on this one, huh?
But last time, that's what I thought, right? So I'm gonna take out my
No,
brain,
I think Nongshim,
shake it around a little bit,
draft is way better this time
and then
around.
put it back in. Yeah, Nongshim's draft way better.
Right? Like they have mixed damage profiles. They have a great front line. They have good hard engage. They have a winning bot lane. They have it's favored to their opponents, but a pretty neutral mid lane, all things considered. And Annie Jarvan is a hell of a combo. And then Hanwha Life have a front-to-back team comp fight where, sure, the Syndra is good, but it's Jin. So it's like extremely magic heavy. So if you itemize MR, then late game, like people just aren't gonna die.
Yeah, and if Caitlyn builds 3 items and one of them is a Lord Doms, like, I don't even think Rooster can survive for very long. This is a toughie.
I'm leaning Nongshim on this one. After the previous game. Now, there's still plenty of opportunity. The 2v2 is quite strong here with Lee and Syndra. If you can get Jin ahead, Lure has been playing very, very well. And the one downside is that if Nongshim does fall behind and Kami and G were not in a great position, actually chewing through anyone on Hanwha can be kind of tough. But I think they should be fine, like particularly because we already saw them play Kate Karma, and it was great.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of interested in a point that Tahis has, which is, I don't know why we have no faith in late game Syndra, because I agree. I also don't have any faith in late game Syndra.
I don't know why.
And after a
We've just been
mid-scope, I was like, oh, well, now she's going to have, like, more stuff that she can
I
do
have
once
not
she get
seen
these
a
splinters
single...
sorted out.
You know what I actually think it is?
Lack of rocking out? Let's do that.
It's durability patch.
Ah, that's what did it.
Still horning Syndra. To me, that's the big difference maker, because even with the update, she just doesn't feel as high impact as she used to back in when Showmaker and BDD were all picking her every single game.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she kind of gave up her lane bully identity. She'll be okay into Annie because she outranges her pretty substantially, but we saw in the last game that Annie, once she finishes Roa and Boots, is still going to be fine. So you don't really have that much of a threat, and then your mid to late game in the current meta, I don't think is that relevant, because generally the game state will be very, very favored one way or the other.
Yeah. Well, having a look at some of these win rates, Sounder has played the Jarvan one time before. It was not as successful. Same with Colmy on this Annie.
Oh, whereas Hanwha Life is undefeated. So maybe we were just wrong, and Hanwha are about to dunk on Nongshim.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't be the first time that we're wrong, Atlas.
Yeah,
Won't be the
and
last.
as you can see, Duro 3-0 on the Heimerdinger, so we're absolutely insane for saying that it's not good. Obviously, Duro was very good playing this, but it was mainly played prior to it being nerfed into oblivion.
Even then, only 3 games on Heimer is not that much, considering how much Challenger play.
Yeah.
Explain to me, Jarvan, Lethal Tempo versus Conqueror. Generally, you go Conqueror into matchups like Lee, into Sign, into more short-range comps. I think Conqueror in general is a little bit better. Lethal Tempo is good when you need to either play really aggressive in the early lane, so you see like Jaxes and whatnot take it sometimes. And if you want to try and stick on the target. But I think on Jarvan, it never makes that much sense to me.
Oh, that's some flashes coming through here as Colmy is just going to get one out. Throw the Q over at Roma.
Yeah, that is a very, very sad affair for particularly the Syndra, because Jarvan ganks are so deadly. Sana will be hitting level 3 here off of this, has already taken his own Grump.
It might have been that the gank was a little bit early, because I don't know whether Cataclysm will come in before the flash is back
No,
off
it won't,
cooldown.
but just Sound still has flash, right? So he can go for E flash Q combo.
Oh, true.
And the one downside of this is, of course, that scatter can be a game ruiner, but as long as you can try and find a window while that is on cooldown, then you should be completely fine. Could be a small window here for Sounda where he can make his way over. Oh, I love this. Yeah, this is going to feel very... yeah, false sense of security.
Yeah, there we go. There's the knock-up as Roma takes a lot of damage. It's a great scatter. As now, Guon's going to flash for this. All right, Sounder's real dead. I don't think that his Demacian standard's going to be enough for that one. And that is a beautiful first blood for Guon.
Disaster for Nongshim. Not getting the kill there. Like I said, you can't get double scattered. One of you can, but with both Colmy and Sounda hit, there's not enough damage available. And a free pickup here for Guon. That means... oh, yeah. Because the CC chain starts off so well, but then they line up.
Yeah.
Like an extra auto with red buff plus the Annie auto, like that kills Roamer. And then you get Triumph, right? And you might be fine, but instead, not going to be the case here.
That's really beautifully played by Guon, though.
Yeah.
Just understanding that, like, this is my time. I just flash in, get down my tempo.
Flashy, and it's GG.
Have a really good time. So, excellently played. And sometimes draft isn't quite as important as getting on a champion that you're extraordinarily comfortable on. And it looks like Guon is really feeling himself on the Lee Sin here today.
I swear to God, man, every single Korean player, like, is like, oh, just let me play Lee.
Everyone's a Lee.
Let me play Lee, bro. Come on, let me just... I got the meanest Lee. Let me pull it out.
Oh, they're trying to bait this. It's actually really cute. Wasting a bit of time, but Sounder going to move on over. Wasn't spotted, I don't believe. So he's looking to just clear out some vision. Here we go. Nongshim, bottom side of the map, still doing exactly what they want it to. As, yeah, this can be real dangerous. As another Q connects here on the bottom side. But Roma is in so much control of this lane right now. And so now it feels like Call Me not having flash is more dangerous if Guwon is going to come over one more time, given that range advantage you were talking about.
Main issue is that Sounda is, like, as you pointed out, not going to hit Cataclysm before. So it's going to be very tough to find...
Double H takes so much damage, but Jiwoo's still going to be able to grab that first blood. There's the burn. And so Dura gets one back. Did I say first blood? There was definitely a kill that already happened in that mid lane, but still, that's the first kill for Nongshim. They'll take those.
Main? Oh, the
just
minion. The tip. Guwon, I think, smited the minion and thought that would kill it, but he queued first.
Ah.
Yeah. And yeah, Lure has flash. Didn't need to get hit by this net. Takes way too much damage. Oh no, he was trapped, so he couldn't flash the net there. And, oh yeah, let's look at this again. Watch this hero minion.
Yeah.
This is actually amazing. It's the scatter.
Oh, no.
Oh, tragedy.
The scatter ruined it all. Feels bad. Anyway, still absolutely fine as the game extraordinarily close.
Very even, Atlas.
Indeed.
As the night encroaches.
Oh, it's well and truly encroached.
Yeah, no, I know it is. Well, I don't know. You're eating lunch, so to me, it's 2 in the afternoon.
I ate lunch like 3 hours ago, dude.
Well, it's 4 in the afternoon.
True, and in some countries, that's nighttime. Okay, Bear is going to pop down here in this mid lane as Duro is just lying in wait. Tibbers to get some information here as he does pop back.
Yeah, and he has a Ruby Crystal, so
a bit of health there.
Yeah, not a lot of
Love
damage.
to see it.
Not a lot of damage.
No. But have you seen a Bear Tibbers?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Pretty extensively.
Yeah. It's been a few years that we've had Tibbers. She was my most played in ranked in season 1. Was Annie.
Support or mid?
Mid lane. I was a mid laner for most of my League of Legends time.
You seem like a top laner to me.
I did play a fair bit of top as well.
Veldis is an obvious mid laner.
You see, I was a Mordekaiser main, but that was when Mordekaiser was a mid laner.
Makes sense.
Mainly seasons.
Yeah, Mordekaiser I can
2, 3,
see for you. Yeah, so for me, I'm a support or jungle, but when I started playing jungle, it's like the Heart of Gold junglers with no resources. So that did make a lot of sense. I'm not a carry jungler kind of guy.
Just build an Oracle's Elixir and everything will be fine. That's how it goes. Just be a Giga Chad Pantheon player. It fits into every lane. Denunciator. Sometimes you just know. You just know the things.
Is Jiwoo fine here in the 1v2?
Well, so far, kind of yeah. If they just miss everything, then I guess you're kind of cool.
He had good movement.
Yeah.
Deserves a bit of cred.
True. But if the abilities do not hit him...
No, correct.
He is fine.
He is definitely okay.
And he was fine. Double H wandering around the jungle.
Is that really who you wanted to W, Double H?
Yeah, it was. It's interesting because I feel like the Karma has just been milling about in their own jungle for quite some time.
Correct, but you know, Kate's getting solo XP, and I guess it's fine.
Yeah, seems okay. Oh, that cute little stun there is Call Me. Boop. Let's try and get something done here. Oh, Double H comes out of the jungle. And Jiwoo may just be dead. Oh, no. Okay, last bullet not going to connect. And so perhaps now we will need to see... Oh, my God! No! The Krug! The Krug just wanders out of the jungle!
It was because of the
bullet.
The bullet.
Oh, my God. Lure is actually the god of luring.
It worked!
He is not only called Lure, but he lures the jungle camps to fight for him.
The bullet didn't miss. The bullet knew!
My God.
This is so funny.
I think it was the toggle. Like the... Oh my God. And the...
This is so funny. We get the slow-mo as well. Oh, and you can see it here. Too late. He walked towards the Krug as well. He had flash.
Oh.
He got croaked, bro.
By the way, you know Fog of War focus was clean.
Well done, Yuno. Can we get a clappy for Yuno in the chat?
Yeah.
For our lovely observer?
Boy, nailed it.
That would be done after that? Yeah, that's the tilter right there. No,
Oh, yeah.
Duro has realized at level 6. Oh, God.
Whoa. Lua might be dead. No, he's going to flash. Deadly Flourish, just barely avoided. But the boys are coming. And Guon's going to land the Q this time around. There's the kick. Just to make sure that Jiwoo, sorry, is Alcove Gaming when he absolutely doesn't want to. And perhaps Heimerdinger is just the best champion in the game. I think that's probably what it is.
That must be it.
I think I am in need of retirement for my ideas about this game. Just irrelevant. Because so far, Hammer Life are looking like they got draft Nirvana.
Well, the gold's still even. And I still like the Nongshim draft more. But hey, it's challengers.
Yeah?
It's challengers. We don't know. We have no idea. We couldn't possibly know as... yeah, you don't have the control to do this. Like, you always are going to be able to force the summoners there with HH playing that aggressive. And like, does Jiwoo survive if he flash there? Probably not. With the position that Duro was already in, I think you always die here, so you might as well try and get the kill. Using your flash there doesn't really get that much going, as, oh my god, we are fighting again!
Yeah. There is a bear at the ready. Colmy's going to hold on to it for now. Does have flash available. So Halma do need to be somewhat careful.
Yeah, Bear and Cataclysm is a great combo.
Bataclysm.
Cataclysm.
Cataclysm.
Cataclysm?
There's Cataclysm.
Oh,
He's going to get out of it. Another phenomenal scatter from Roma here. And honestly, like, this is the thing. This is the thing that's beautiful, especially about Challenger.
Hit it, Atlas. Tell
is
him.
the fact that, honestly, drafts only matter to a point. And if you're just really good at your champions, then anything can make sense. You know? And man, Hammer are playing this really, really well so far.
Not the Crocs again!
These are the angriest Crocs ever!
I don't know if I misread the draft, or if I'm just coping, or if I don't know anymore.
I don't think you misread the draft. I think that
I'm
losing
my mind. This as well. Like, what's going on? We're just ulting like a Lee. Of all the members, Lee and Heimer are not the guys you want.
And also, like, in a situation like that, I just don't feel like I've seen that many times where a grenade lands perfectly onto two people and then you get a double scatter. Like, and in that situation, it doesn't matter how many times you nerf him. Like, that's still so much value.
Okay, the game state overall, which I don't really understand how, despite all this, it's just the CS, I guess, is still even. Like, it's a 500 gold lead and there's some Drakes involved, so Hanwha is still ahead, but I feel like with the game score as it is, it should be worse, and I don't know why not.
Yeah.
It's like a few plates on top,
Mihail
it's a plate on mid and bottom.
Yeah, Mihail's ahead, but that gold lead is completely irrelevant. So actually, Hanwha are kind of in the lead.
True, but I don't think the gold on Heimer matters that much either.
No, I think it matters more than if it was a Karma or something.
Sure, but even with the early lead that Duro has, his gold generation has already run out. So him getting his second item is as far as he's going to get no matter what. And he's not really going to accelerate past that. So I don't know if it matters as much.
Unless he keeps getting kills, like, that's the mid laner.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure is.
Road of Age is not quite stacked up just yet, as Duro's done it again. Another great stun as there's the Cataclysm onto Guon. They've trapped in the Rift Sculler that is going to be taken by the Lee Sin, and then immediately they turn it. Colmy goes golden. He's down very, very low. This Tibbers could get a lot of work done after it gets angry, but it's not going to. That's a triple kill for the Lee Sin.
Yeah, I take it back. Guon's just too good, man.
He is just too good, dude.
He's just too good.
That's how this is.
He's too good.
Yep. I don't think Kasante going to be doing much there, and Jiwoo just has to watch as the rest of his team falls apart at the seams.
Atlas, I'm calling it. I'm voting. There we go.
Again?
Again.
Nah, I'm Duro this time.
Look at this lead. Tell me you wouldn't vote for him.
Yeah, but did you see the Heimerdinger almost kill the mid laner before the fight even started?
Yeah, but look at Guon skirmishing here. Like
Yeah,
threading that Q and making his way over, forcing Zhonya's.
Yeah.
Kicking, going in.
I mean, I just saw Duro land like back-to-back grenades.
I mean, Duro is. I'm a big Duro fan. I'm really excited to see where this guy is going to go. When you see not one but two supports from challengers make their way to the like #1 spot on the Korean ladder in a very short amount of time, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, feels pretty good.
Because it was Duro last year at the end, and right now it is the man, the mystery,
The myth.
the myth, the legend, KT Wade.
Yeah, rank 1. Pretty cool. Mihail, just down here punching some turrets.
No LPL team challenger jokes, chat. You know that's a very sensitive topic for us.
Yeah,
We would
that
like
makes
to
me
keep
sad.
our Korean players. Although
Call
you know,
Me was
if
just
they're,
not
if they're
feeling it.
happy, I think that's okay. Yeah, maybe Call Me not having the best day today. TSM there we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah,
Well,
that sounds a bit sad.
That's actually very sad.
We hope that Duro sticks around in the...
FlyQuest Duro?
That's too many Koreans.
Well, I mean,
Are you gonna send
for
Vikla
now.
home? It's all right. Well, I guess maybe my Duro vote is a little bit more difficult now, as he was just destroyed as if he was a Rift
Yeah,
Scholar.
so Atlas, in case you missed it, I knew that was going to happen, which is why I voted for Guon, so maybe just listen to me next time.
Yeah, I should have read the script. I sometimes miss out on it. As yeah, it's definitely not going to Double H either, as we're just donating our supports.
What is happening? I thought we were the only ones that were getting a bit exhausted and delirious, but these players just running into each other.
Where is Pioshik? Who are these players?
We don't know.
Well, a lot of them were playing in the last game.
So if we actually
why
go
that
to
video was made.
late, which at this point I feel like is basically a certainty, whose comp do we like more?
Probably the
Because-
one without Jin.
Well, that was my guess as well.
Well, Sounder is going to push a bunch of buttons and then not have very much to do afterwards. Mihail now going to get ran into by a train. Generally doesn't feel great. And oh, I love that. Just waiting out a few of the dashes before the Q comes in. Lands another one. Yeah, no, okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. You got my vote. You got my vote there, Mr. Guon. There you go.
Yeah, unless somehow Nongshim win, then we really have to change the votes, because Sounda is not an option in this one, unfortunately.
Hey, wait, maybe he gets a sick turnaround. That's why they win. As Hamar are looking for Soul Point, they'll collect that one here as well. Damn, 12-3. And the gold is still kind of meh.
Yeah, I really don't understand how that's happening.
Can you cast your
and-
puck vote mid-game? Well, I mean, we write it down on a piece of paper in front of us.
It just seems so disjointed. Sounda, with Jarvan in particular, you're not lead, you're not any of the newer champions, right? You're a Season 2 champion. Your kit is very basic, which means you need to be very, very certain when you go in. Because up until you reach like late game and you have your cleaver and like maybe another item, like then you'll have enough ability Ace to go in and then generally get out. But right now, once you are, if you use EQ to go in and you are, you will die if you don't have the immediate follow-up, which has happened like 3 times right now.
Yep.
Or you need to R and then EQ out, which has happened like once, but then generally he got caught on the exit
He
by
died
Roamer,
by the double
and then-
scatter. Yeah.
yeah, and then died. So neither of those really work in, and it's just Mihao. That's the goal, but it's not good.
Yeah, he's a Cassante. And that's not very valuable gold allocation, unfortunately.
But I do really like the Notion comp like late game. When you get Kate at like 4 items and when you have Annie fully skilled up with Tibbers and First Strike, like, it's really good. But I don't think you should ever get there from this point onward. But they're
Should
not
be very
that far
difficult.
behind in terms of items either. I'm very confused thoroughly at this game.
Well,
I don't
I actually
understand
think
it.
that like Oh, look, Colmy's going to flash bear someone. That is so much AoE damage. The Cataclysm's pretty good, but they're so far behind. The Annie's still going to die, and now the curtains have been called. Guwon's having a field day, and how many dashes do you have, Mr. Sante? The answer is not enough, as he's going to get stunned up. I love the patience from Lua there, holds onto the last bullet, and they just wipe the floor with him.
Why?
That was the best engage they've ever got all game.
No, it wasn't good at all. Why are they hard forcing?
Well, I mean, did you see how many people were stunned by the bear?
Like 2. 1 flashed.
Yeah.
And then Guwon immediately like kicked Sounda into Annie, so they both died.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they also didn't have the second item done on Annie. It did. I thought it was going to be good.
That's a 7-1 and 4 Lee Sin. My God. Let's have a look at this again.
Watch this. So they know Comey's coming. So it literally only hits Jin. And then this combo comes in like Sai is zoning 3 people. They knew. It was so telegraphed. Tippers hit 1 person.
Yeah.
I mean, we are kind of losing it over Nongshim, but this is standard challengers fair. What we should be doing is Holy Lord Guwon's Lee.
He is a god.
And this is the type of moments where you're like, oh man, I'm glad Lee got buffed, because now we get to see Lee again for like the next few patches. That's cool.
Yeah. And I don't know whether he needed to be buffed that much.
No,
it's
a placebo buff. It's just so that people remember that he exists again.
Well, Guwon's making it definitely look pretty good.
His skill's a little better, but you know, Lee's damage scaling in late game fights is generally not really.
He is a jungler, so it's somewhat irrelevant. But maybe that's a rascal buff for the top lane Lee Sinners. Possibly. Into that. That's all right, Hanwha. Now with some control, with a Baron.
We're just going to keep forcing. I love it. I love it.
Do we have anything else that we're capable of doing?
It'll work this time.
I feel like it'll be really cool if Nongshim can get a fight where it's not like running headlong into the opponent and it's in range of Jiwoo to auto-attack people. Maybe that's possible.
Wait, I completely missed what you were saying.
I just think that like Nongshim should try and start a fight where Jiwoo is capable of doing a damage and it's not putting your face into the enemy.
But right now Jiwoo isn't in a great spot, so he needs to wait for IE.
This is just feedback for next series.
Game. Oh yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, they just haven't really been. They haven't been in sync. They haven't been in tune. As PSA, the new Jarvan skills off of bonus AD. So ideally, you'd go Core Drinker into Cleaver, into whatever you can get. Now, Sounda's very behind, so he's going for a more cost-efficient item, but the buffs to his W are actually pretty substantial. You can get like pretty big shields with it.
Oh,
as,
the train!
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Miles, you need to tank that one. Yeah.
Not even worried.
Throwing a few buttons towards the enemy. Sending a message. More than anything else, there's 13 seconds on this Cloud Soul.
Yeah, they're going to get... You know what might be the solution here, Atlas?
Elder Flippy
Flip.
Flip.
Always is in challengers. It's Elder Flip. Yeah, you were right. You had the answer.
Well, that means that they must let this Drake go.
Lord Doms.
Which
very nice. Love that. Love that for him.
Could have been really cool if it was second item. But maybe he didn't need it second item.
Yeah, I don't think he does. Cassante, he's never, like if he's hitting Cassante, then it's kind of whatever. As Romer will ding 15, and so will Kami. Does the Shadow Flame finish now, which is nice. But not enough, I don't think. But if they can stall the game for long enough, Jiwoo is going for Lord Doms, which feels really bad, but is very understandable, because mostly it's going to be hitting Rooster. But that means that it's 4 items, which is in like 10, 15 minutes, if they do want to win.
I think they want to win. I just don't know whether they'll be capable of said winning.
That's the key question, isn't it?
That is all. It seems to be a pretty common dilemma to run into.
Yeah.
As Rooster is wandering down the river, he's extremely tanky. He will last a very long time, as Guwon is going to get a cute little kick flash onto the Caitlyn. You love to see to land another Q as well. This guy is so good, man. He's so good at Lee Sin. Mahal's going to ult. He's going to go all out into the Death Chamber. And now they're going to get the flash out of Double H, but the grenades are now raining forward. That deadly flourish was so sick. There's a scatter, but they're unable to quite finish off the dive. And Hanwha are just playing with their food right now. It looks like this team is, like, just hands-wise, 400 million times better. It's like this is unfair. Like, there's just a skill gap. I'm not used to this. This level of difference.
We saw this in game 1. But it was for Nongshim.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's challengers, baby. You never know which team you're gonna get, which version of the team you're gonna get.
And what was happening in game 1? Was Nongshim overperforming? Well, Humble Life
kind of
Esports
both.
slumping?
Nongshim's a pretty decent team, right? Like, there is a reason why the middle of the pack, though, is that they can't string it together consistently. And here we are trying to look for a pick, but the pick is on a... Oh, this is...
Oh my god.
Yeah, he dodged the call me W there. Yeah, it was actually really sick. Although I don't know why he would go for W there instead of Q, because unless you didn't have Q cooldown, maybe he didn't. I didn't actually check. Maybe he had to like get his 4-stack by Qing first and then Wing. But yeah, somewhat of a disaster there with the Annie not being able to hit, and then even without that, Guwon is fine. It's more about do they get the kill or not.
That was so sick by Guwon. I'm just like, the way that I'm just going to think about this from now on is that actually it's just Guwon's a god.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
That's all this is.
Yeah, J4 ganked mid. Yeah, J4 didn't get anything done early, and then playing J4 from behind is a miserable experience. Oh, Sounder! He's a man with a dream.
Speaking of playing J4 from behind the Baron pit.
One dream.
Oh, look at that.
One mission.
Wait, you thought we were flipping for Elder? What about flipping for this Baron
did not
right
know.
now?
That's a bounty, baby. No, well, not a no.
Oh, and now he gets the information a little bit late. That's the first Q that's missed, as now Sounder is going to play the game. He's going to dive on in, see whether enough damage can happen. He just gets booted out of there. And there is no chance for him to steal that one away. It was a very cute idea, though, as the train is going to crash into the Nongshim bottom lane. And they're going to shoot him a little bit. And then he's not going to notice. As, yep, Cassante and Annie going to be backing here on the bottom side of the map, trying to get something.
So, yeah, you don't envision a sound out, so you just have to throw in your E at some point to try and get in, and then immediately they respond really cleanly, right? Immediately, we have two people peeling off, we have the kick out, and there's no possibility for any stealing shenanigans.
A kick out and a cookout.
What's the cookout?
I don't know. It's just, you said kick out, and I was like, it sounds so much like a cookout.
Have we had a cookout yet?
No, have we picnicked? We haven't picnicked.
I have picnicked twice.
No, but like together.
I don't think
we picnicked together. I don't think so.
No, we haven't camped yet either.
No.
That's something I'd be excited to do as well.
Man, I'm looking forward to lunch when I get home.
What did you just say?
We're gonna push in.
What did you just say, Atlas? You want to repeat that?
We're gonna push this in a turret.
What do you want to repeat that, Atlas?
Push this in a turret a little bit. Take that one down.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go for a bit of a
flank.
All right, Mihail. Can you make this one happen? He can pull in the
got
Jin.
him.
They managed to lock him down, as now Call Me could be in trouble. Guwon goes golden. Really nicely done there. Now Mihail trying to take down this Syndra. She's the last remaining big form of damage.
Oh my god.
And she seems relatively untouched. The Caitlyn's going to be taken out by a Sion running at her with the help of Duro just a little bit there, as Guwon is very, very low. Does need to be somewhat careful. Double H just explodes. Roma is just huge. And look at this Lee Sin. He's chasing after the top laner. Zero fear whatsoever. And that is Roma locking down the kill.
They're still winning!
It was a very cute little attempt, though, by Nongshim.
They killed Jin. Jin doesn't matter? Yeah. Okay, that's not actually what happened. It was just a really well-played fight, and they're 10k gold up. But, yeah, well, not 10k. They were 6k gold up, another 8k gold up.
This is the value of Jin, is that you pick him, and then he's in the bot role. And so it makes people think that jumping on top of him and getting the kill is a great utilization of your pick potential.
When actually it's just, again, a beautifully done fight. Okay, you know what, the Duro vote actually, even though he ends up dying there, like Duro was kind of my MVP in that fight. Yeah. Actually, the amount of zoning that he was able to do to make sure, because Jiwa at this point is pretty big. Oh, no, don't flip Eldo. No, that's the one where you lose. Yeah, just turn. Good.
Always flip.
Just turn. Just turn.
Well, Train is going to land into the Annie. Man, That's pretty brutal. Q connects onto Jiwoo, and Guwon thinks, I may as well go in.
Awesome. No
And I
flipping.
think I kind of agree, as now Mihail going to get kicked back. I like that, just defensive play. Guwon's going to
Good
continue to
stuff.
press forward. Press forward. Press? I say press?
Press the attack.
They're pressing.
Press
They're
the
pressing
attack.
everyone.
Come on, Hanwha.
Press your buttons.
You can do it.
Press all of your buttons, please.
You got this.
Yeah, well, they are going to do that. Inhibitor is going to go down. As Mihail clinging to relevance here on the Cassante. Does manage to pull the Lee Sin under the turret. And last turret shot going to bring him down to his GA. That is certainly good news. Is now, yeah, all out, all dead. And the Nexus turret's going to be next to go down as Guwon hunting after Jiu, who just outplays him. Like that one a lot. Is now Dura taking a lot of damage. Okay. That's the usefulness of the Jin.
There's Jin,
He's
baby.
got a lot of AD. He is just going to be able to destroy the Caitlyn. This Nexus going to go down as well. And Humble Life Esports
Double jungle.
looking
the
real
way.
good.
It's a moment like these that make you go, why did we win game number 1? And that's not the type of question you should ask yourself in Challengers. That's not what we're about.
No.
That's
And
not what life in Challengers is about. It's about accepting what is in front of you, no matter the circumstances, Atlas.
And the things in
it's-
front of us were incredibly well played Heimerdinger and Lee Sin.
And it's about accepting that if your co-caster has weird preferences about what he wants to cause meals, then you gotta accept him no matter what.
No.
That's what it's.
No, no,
that's
no,
what
I'm
it's
correct.
all about.
No. I think it's about believing in yourself and standing up for what you believe in. I think that's what's important.
That's what I'm saying as well.
Yeah.
Look at Rooster's hair. He actually
absolutely
just has the best hair, like by like a large margin. Although, like it's the Romer is kind of gaming as well.
Both of them are kind of just majestic
For real.
in almost every way.
Damn.
And look at this. The game was like somewhat even until like 14 minutes, and then it collapsed in a heap.
Look at the Jin damage. It's actually amazing.
Look at the Lee Sin. Like actually
doing
did
that much
Jin do
on
the
Lee?
least.
Yeah. Well, no, Sion did less.
He did 200 more damage than Sion. There we go.
Not even 200.
Yeah, 180.
But this game wasn't about Jin. If
No.
it was a fat Jin, it would be a lot better. Like, yeah, Jiwoo really tried. Jiwoo is still so good. I don't even think Nongshim is bad. Like, obviously, the sound as Lee or sound as Jarvan is not something that I want to see again. It also shows in remember the mid play where he went for flash EQ as opposed to EQ flash, right? Like those are the type of mechanics on Jarvan that you really want to see.
Yeah.
To give less time. It didn't end up mattering, right? Because he still got the play, but I personally quite like the. Showcase mechanics like that, and yeah, I just didn't feel like he was very comfortable in champion, which is fine. I think the pick was still great, even though it didn't end up working. What a fun day. I agree, Yundo. I agree.
It was. It was a little bit of a sad day for Nongshim fans, because I felt like in game number 1, we saw a glimpse of how good they can be, right? And then we saw it kind of evaporate.
Now, if you're a Nongshim fan, you know what this is setting. This is setting up for the playoffs miracle run. Like literally. The
So
last
they're already
two,
exactly where they want to be.
yes, because they want to be in 5th, 6th place, because that's when they really get going. This is what I'm not even joking. This is what happened last spring and last summer. They looked mediocre, and then they got to finals in spring, which was wild, and then they won finals in summer, which was also wild.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And now the
Crazy
players
stuff.
are completely different, except for Jiwoo, who has been playing pretty well and did play well today. There was a weird amount of Jin victory today, which scared me a little bit, as Guwon's going to pick it up again. Understandably.
Complete
Domination.
complete like a surprise. This
Yeah.
guy just plays a really clean Lee. Lee, in Challengers, makes sense that he'd be good because Challengers is messy, and Lee loves it when the game is messy. Wants to skirmish, wants to try and look for plays with his mobility and his burst and his displacement, and Guwon did all that.
Yeah. He looks intimidating as well. Just a bit intimidated. But
By
maybe
the
it's
Lee?
because I was observing a lot of his Lee Sin play.
Krug's Rob match. That was actually a great play.
Yeah, Krugs definitely hold a place in our hearts.
Thanks for the great casting, guys. Thank you very much. We'll be having an
Thanks,
interview
Nugget.
after this, and then we'll be having what we lovingly call our community and chat. Chat
Caster,
and
chat, community
caster corner. Well, we can vary. You can do any order as
Yeah.
long as corner is last.
It's still C4. We can have our C4 time.
So we can talk to you guys. How did you enjoy today? How are you doing?
Yeah.
How are you feeling? What were your thoughts on today's games? Did you enjoy challenges as per usual? We are breaking some records. You know, we've been having some amazing viewership numbers. We've been we hit 10K followers on a channel that's brand new, which
We did.
Wow.
I'm just checking that out now.
Yeah,
Still a
isn't it
few of you
insane?
hanging around. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
But man, it was a weird day. I felt like I couldn't hold on to how the games were going to go today. It felt like things were all over the place.
It really was. And it was also somewhat because of my lack of focus today. But it was also genuinely drafts. We always joke about drafts and challengers. But today really felt like you kind of hit that mark of you don't know what's going to happen loading into draft. Like you can see these comps and how they would work. And then what happened in game just kind of blows it out of the water completely. You talk about, oh yeah, you can scatter like Jarvan as he goes in. And then that basically decides the game, like in 2 back-to-back scatters.
Yeah, and it's it really does bring you back to reality, I think, after watching leagues like the LCK, where you can judge how a game is going to go based on the draft.
So
because players are of a specific level with all of these champions almost all the time.
Well, it's not just that, but I think it's also specifically, I've noticed this a lot talking to colorcasters of other regions, it's also because of we get so incredibly well acquainted with how specifically the LCK plays out drafts.
True.
So, but then I talked to an LPL or an LCK caster, and they're like, oh yeah, no, everything is different. Like how they rig the champions, how they play them out. So challengers is really interesting, is that there is a lot of impact from the main teams, because of course these teams, well, scrimming is kind of a special situation, but the coaching staff is in contact with each other. They're part of the same organization. They get access to the same intel. And even then, with similar drafts, you get such wildly different results because these players just play it out in a very different manner.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's straight up worse.
Yeah, and I feel like Challenger does take a lot from what they learn from the LCK as well, because they generally look up to all of those players. But when you take into account champion mastery, I think a lot of these, like, draft better and win more doesn't really make sense, because then you don't have Guon just schooling people on Lee Sin. And sometimes that can just happen. And honestly, like, seeing this game, like seeing Syndra on one side, Syndra on the other side, I mean, Colmy had a rough day, but what that meant was that Roma looked absolutely incredible on the Syndra after the Syndra looked like she was a waste of time.
Yeah, like we had no faith, and then we did in game number 2.
Yeah.
Although it did take 2 scatters for us to really believe. Are you guys implying that player skill makes more? Well, it's always a complex mix of factors,
It's all
right?
of the things, right?
Everything is always much more complicated than people want to make you believe. That's my take.
And Cosmic Panda, yes, I think that absolutely does. But once player skill gets close enough together, it means less and less, right? And so you need to move the needle in another place.
But even at
diminishing, it's just a
but even at the highest level, it's really interesting because there are players that are just so much better at specific. Like Zeka was a great example of his last Worlds, right? Where it's like, even though he's playing against the best players in the world, he's still so much better at those champions that you can't give them to him. Like that's so cool to me.
But also, like, those champions are also very good in drafts that you can create in that meta, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not like, so say someone is a god Yorick player, will he just be playing Yorick every game? I don't think so, because, you know, you can't. It's more difficult to draft around, I guess. One of those sorts of things. But it's very interesting. One thing that I found very interesting is that Chovy is spamming a Lowy in solo queue.
Makes complete sense to me. Yeah, sounds like a trophy. Sounds like a trophy thing.
Perhaps we're going to be seeing some good old Alawi mid.
What are the matches tomorrow for this cache? I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, we can have a look at that if you like.
We can have a quick gander. Let's check it out.
We can talk about that
because if you're here, you're probably going to be there tomorrow as well. We're not casting tomorrow, are we? You're doing a pre-show.
I am.
We are.
Yeah, no.
Are you not a pre-shower tomorrow?
I'm not a pre-shower because I think I was supposed to be.
I'm casting tomorrow.
Yeah, so you and I are both casting tomorrow.
So it's us casting tomorrow as well.
Yes.
All right. So it's Feldus and Wolf in the pre-show and us casting.
Yeah, and they were organizing the pre-show today as well. We're going to talk about the, Live Sandbox looking so much better. KT also looking so much better.
Yeah, me and Wolf are eating well. Me for Sandbox, him for KT.
Yep, me for KT.
Yeah, you for KT. Yeah, you still think...
I was the only KT
you're
believer,
still
by the way.
waiting for Sandbox to collapse, right?
Yeah. But
happening any day now.
still eating well.
Yeah.
Because the KT predictions keep me going.
I love the KT team as well. The only thing that really truly breaks my heart is the DRX performance, but I don't think that's really going to go up, seeing as to what happened with Nongshim. Which, yeah, that is...
That one's going to be a toughie. Oh my god, tomorrow? Wait. Hang on a sec. Wait, are you... So we've got a potentially relatively quick game to start things off, as Gen.G will be taking on Nongshim Red Force, which is relatively skewed, top of the standings versus the bottom of the standings.
Well, hey...
But then we have KT versus Damwon.
Gen.G...
Or KT versus D plus Kia.
Gen.G lost versus T1, and Peanut made a mistake, so they are horrible now, and they're going to lose to Nongshim. Would be what you could say if you were a overreacting person, which we are not. So, yeah, expect that to be a quick 2-0 for Gen.G. And
Wait. But didn't Gen.G, like, beat T1 2-1, but then Peanut put his face into a bush?
Well, that's depending on how you look at it, but one could construe the events of that day as such, yes. So, I mean,
we're concluding from that the team's bad?
Yeah, I was joking. We're both saying the same thing, which is that people saying that are out of line. And
but are people actually saying that? Surely not.
I've seen some people on the... I mean, you shouldn't... You can... This is
There'd be some people on the internet, aren't there?
Okay, I don't even... I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. I don't even...
You don't need one.
There's always people on the internet with every opinion, and that's the great thing about it, and it's the horrible thing about it. But that KT D+ matchup, super cool, because I think we all predicted KT as well, because D+ just looked very sad. And yes, at this point we can kind of conclude that Sandbox was a good team, but you can lose to Sandbox and have it look good, or you can have happen what happened last time, and there's also...
I mean, it was a series where you're not talking about the Sandbox win, you're talking about the D+ collapse. That was what the game was to me.
Well, I as a Sandbox enjoyer also thought that they did well, but yeah, it really
no, they did well, but I don't think it was anything.
Like Canyon,
it wasn't like an overperformance from Live Sandbox. It was Canyon not being there at all.
Yeah.
It was Showmaker having another rough one, and it was the team just not looking like they were on the same page. It was weird because it was almost like Canna was the best performing player.
Yes. Oof, no, it was Deft, 100%.
Well, I mean Deft, but I mean Deft has been the same.
So I'm actually gonna I'm predicted KT because I think KT right now looks way better.
100%.
But but also like D+ looking like they're in a slump. KT looking like the clear favorite and playing really well for the last 2 weeks.
Almost a guaranteed D+.
That's what I'm kind of worried about. Yeah, that we're just all wrong, and like this is where KT start their KTing.
But KT just came off a win against D+ as well, right?
Yes, and also as said, even if D+ play well, I think KT is the better team right now. Like they just look like they have a good grasp on draft. Individually, they're playing really well. So
I mean, KT look like the second best team in the LCK.
I really don't know who between them and I'd still say Gen.G's better than them.
Didn't they just?
Yeah,
KT just beat Gen.G.
Yeah, 2-1. I'd still take Gen.G over KT.
But we just saw.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can still think that if T1 lost against Hanwha, do you think Hanwha's better than T1?
Well, it depends what the context is. But right now, like KT are on more of an upward trajectory than Gen.G are. They have the same scoreline right now, but Gen.G started off better.
Well, we're gonna know after this week, right? But I think that it's close.
Yeah, objective power level probably should be that KT is a little bit higher based on more recent performance.
Well, that also depends on how the T1 KT match is going to go. So after this week,
that's what I'm setting up for, because our Saturday showdown's a bit of a banger this week. Yeah. All right. This is going to be tomorrow's games. So that's today's games. I don't know. I saw that T1 was white, and I'm like, aren't they supposed to be red? Isn't Nongshim supposed to be red? Our new black and white team is going to be playing tomorrow.
Yes. So Hanwha won, which it should be expected based on the standings, but it was actually quite close. And then DRX and T1 also had a match. DRX continuing their upswing, and T1 kind of continuing their stagnation, unfortunately. Forced in particular, doing a lot of foresting.
Yeah, bit of foresting happening, but that's okay. We would never discourage him from foresting because he is a forest after all. Relatively even as far as the distribution towards the middle of the standings are concerned, and then Kwandong Freaks and Bro struggling a little bit, but definitely a lot of room to move between Liv Sandbox and the top, you know?
The Sandbox with a very pivotal victory yesterday could slowly start climbing towards a playoff spot if their match score is, or if their win score is good enough. Because in terms of matches, they're still very far behind Nongshim.
By the way, shout out to the Kips for being the biggest Quid fan in the universe.
Yeah.
And constantly
really
believing.
Don't get excited in the chat. No, it's okay. We kind of moved past that. Are the games done? Yeah, the game is done, are done, but we are not yet. Almost done.
And they will continue. The games will continue as
Thursday
we head
and Friday.
towards tomorrow as well. As, yeah, Liv Sandbox versus
not
Bro is a
tomorrow.
bit of a battle of the bottom. Thursday,
Tomorrow's
Friday.
LCK, yeah.
Tomorrow's LCK,
Yeah.
but Thursday's also LCK.
Also true.
And, you know, it's the tomorrow of Challenger. The tomorrow of Challenger will involve some Gen.G
This is a
DK
lunch
as well.
situation all over
This,
again.
the
Atlas.
Kips could be looking at this Gen.G DK match, by the way, being like, it's my
Easy.
time. And he could also watch Shy as he's going to be co-streaming it.
Nongshim vs KT could be more interesting than I initially thought based on how Nongshim performed today in game one.
Yeah, so if
In
it
game
was, if game one is all I'd seen, I'd be like hyped as heck.
No,
But
not so
now,
much.
absolutely not. And this is going to be Monday's matches.
Which
Liv
I will
Sandbox
do.
DRX. That's kind of dope. Yeah. You and Valdez will be on that Monday, and me and Wolf will be doing the Tuesday.
Your Tuesday is looking kind of. Is this why you ditched me, Atlas, so you could get a quick four-game day?
To take Changy to the vet.
I know. I
And
was just doing
that's
a
very
bit.
important. And I didn't know what the next matchup was.
I might.
until now.
If it's just me that does double 9 gamers, I will lose my mind. So let's hope that's not.
Too late.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
We got a telecom war on Monday as
Yeah.
well. How many It's like one telecom war, 2 days, telecom war. Boom!
Telecom War.
It's telecom warring
Telecom
all over
War.
the place.
Yeah.
And I think KT should be favored in the second telecom war.
In this one, yes. In the first one, not necessarily. As we discussed most of these already. Oh, that's Saturday.
That is just a banger. T1 versus Liv Sandbox, also a bit of a fun rematch as well, as there will be a lot on the line for that one. Also a good barometer to check out how these two teams are going to do on that Saturday showdown, because KT versus DK going to be interesting for that exact reason, and Liv Sandbox with their glow up. We'll see how that one is going to go. The first matches on Wednesday, Thursday should be pretty quick, as Gen.G DRX should also be a relatively one-sided affair, but D plus Key, if they lose to KT, Kwandong Freaks are terrifying for that team, because if they lose to Kwandong, that's just spiral. And I don't know
Could
how
happen.
they recover.
Kwangdong look like the type of team that would really be in a position, and Dudu has found upset ones against D+ before. Remember Hanwha last year?
Oh, yeah. That's always the danger. I mean, Hanwha versus T1 was also the struggle, but continuing to definitely have the ability to gain some upsets. So, man, this week's LCK is going to tell us a lot. And I think we all had very similar predictions as well, if I remember what we all sent in. I think that I'm expecting that I get a 5 out of 10 this week. I just think that there'll be
We
upsets.
have the same ones, right?
Yeah, we have exactly the same.
Yeah, you said thank you, Chronicler, for your predictions, because I yoinked them.
Well, no, I read through what my predictions would be, and then I read what yours were, and I'm like,
let me
then
rephrase
that's the same. I
that.
can
We
copy
actually
paste
we
thing
had
in
the same
chat.
one, but I took some risks. Actually, I just took one risk last week. I thought KT was going to collapse, and it didn't. So now I'm just on board the KT hype train along with everyone else. But like, there's no way. It never has been easy any week. We've had upsets every single time.
No. And we're being asked to please stop comment. So we are going to do that. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for us reaching 10K followers as well.
Amazing.
Very, very exciting. And we will see you next week for more Challenger, but tomorrow for the LCK. Good night. Or good morning. Or anything.
Invincible.